The tape. The tape. Let's grind. The tape. We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Yep. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut up
tape.
and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape,
The
bro.
tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening. We got no audio.
No, we have audio. We have audio. The screen, for some reason,
the camera froze.
The camera at some point
Something's
froze.
going on. We have audio. They can hear us.
They can hear us.
So even our YouTube audience is like a podcast audience right now.
Yeah, they are.
But now, we are frozen on a total screen, on an empty desk screen. That's interesting.
There's worse things to be frozen on.
There we go. We're back.
Are we good?
We're back.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening here on the network. Little Ghost Brooks right there to start the show. We got the cameras rolling, and we got a loaded show for you guys tonight. Boys, we are halfway through college football's regular season. I know. That
makes me sad, dude.
We're so much closer to the desert of the off-season than we even know it. Now, granted, national title's not until January 20th, so we're going to drag this sucker out in December and January,
also
but that's okay.
We have begun the best time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no matter what, like,
Christmas in the air, folks out here wearing hoodies again.
Oh, the weather.
Beer don't even need a koozie out here in the weather these days, except to keep your hand warm, you know? It's the opposite in the summer. Keeps the beer cold.
That's right.
Science. Hey, we got a loaded show for you guys tonight. We're going to hit our mid-season awards as well. It's midway through the season. We reached 75,000 subscribers. That's
not bad.
That's not bad. On the way to 100K. We'll get there. We'll get there quickly, especially with your help. All right? Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up tonight as well. We got predictions to close tonight's National Hour as well. Make sure you're liking the stream. I also want to throw a little caution to the wind here, guys. We throw up a lot of content here on the network, okay? A ton. And the best way to make sure you don't miss anything is to hit that little bell, right? The bell notifications on the channel. I know a ton of you are subscribing. Make sure you're hitting that bell. You know what YouTube Studio told me today, guys?
What'd they tell you?
7.7% of our subscribers have us on alerts. That's not good enough.
That's it?
You know what industry standard is? So says YouTube.
What's that?
10 to 30%.
Can't be below average.
We're 2.3% lower as a family than industry's low end of the standard. That's not the standard. We got to aspire to be better today.
We don't have below average listeners, so we can't
don't.
be below average
We
in
got
the numbers.
above average listeners. We got certified ball knowers in the chat, man. We got certified ball knowers in the chat that love and know ball. I need you to hit that subscribe button, that bell button. If you love ball, hit that bell today. Ain't no doubt. Let's get to work. Got a ton to do tonight. Let's start with the midseason awards. I like this, guys. We're 6 weeks. I don't like that we're 6 games into the college football slate, but we are midway through the season. Let's talk about it. Our first category of the night, biggest surprise of the season. I think it's really easy, especially right now, October 14th. I mean, no one could have told me preseason. You could have told me James Franklin's going to be fired. I'd be like, all right, he must have went 9-3. I wouldn't have thought, oh my God, he lost to what? He lost to Oregon? Okay, he lost to Oregon. He lost to UCLA and Northwestern, and they canned him? No way. There was no way you could tell me that preseason. I think you got to lead the conversation there. There's some other nominees as well.
Yeah, that's certainly the biggest wow moment of the season for sure. Of that guy, I think especially if you put it into this context of if you would have told college football fans before the season that Billy Napier outlasts James Franklin, you would have probably spit your drink out. In other words, so I think
I wouldn't spit my H2all out. No way.
Never.
No way. Too high quality of H2all.
For my biggest surprise, though, I went team-centric here. I went Georgia Tech. I think they've been a big surprise this season, especially when you start thinking about they have the opportunity to go into the final week of the season for them undefeated against Georgia, are in a very strong position to be playing for a conference title, to be playing for a college football playoff spot this year. Because I think, too, last year, Georgia Tech was very competitive in a lot of games, and they had some close games against some really good teams. But considering some of the losses that they had last year, I don't think people kind of expected them to not only be better than they were last year, but kind of go back into having success, especially not at this rate. So I think they've been the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah, I like Georgia Tech. It's a big surprise. I actually had them as one of my options. But for me, if you'd have told me last year, probably about May, that Indiana was going to be a top 3 football team in college football, I would have been very suspicious of that. I think we all kind of viewed what Indiana did last year with Kurt Cignetti as kind of this is a flash in the pan, fun story. Then 2024, they'll be a 9-3 team this year. They'll be solid. Now there's still time for them to go 9-3, but I don't think we ever saw them peaking inside the top 3.
I think this conversation or this segment would be remiss if we didn't mention the UCLA turnaround as a surprise. Right about now. Guys, it wasn't just Penn State. They turned around, won against Michigan State, and they won another game this past weekend, did they not? Or just the Michigan State game after beating Penn State.
UCLA, yeah. They've only
just
won.
the 2 wins.
They've only won
still,
2.
I mean, that's really impressive under new Heisman as offensive coordinator. And I couldn't even tell you who the interim head coach is right now. All I know about is new Heisman offensive coordinator. I feel like that's been the story, and that's shame on me. I should do my own research there on that, but we got a lot going on. I think freshman impact, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, just the amount of true freshmen that obviously have been given a lot of money through NIL and a lot of investment, but the amount of impact that they've had on the football field across the sport, whether it's Dakarian Moore, whether it's Dallas Wilson winning a game versus Texas, whether it's all these young quarterbacks that are playing great ball. Georgia's got a bunch of offensive linemen. Michael Carroll's playing out there at Alabama. There are so many freshmen that are playing really, really good football right about now. It's been really, really surprising. Biggest flop. What do you got going on, Jay Will?
Penn State.
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest flop.
Yeah.
Now, there's certainly some other teams that I'm sure Kirby would love to mention in this conversation as a biggest flop. But considering the hype around that team going into the season, considering what types of conversations that team was being included in, and the losses that they've had, that's the most important part. That's by far the biggest flop this year.
Yeah, Penn State's definitely, I think, deserving of the biggest flop. Where I went with a different team, though, as a team that, this immediately crashed and burned. This is a failure to launch. As soon as the race started, you fell and tumbled ever since. North Carolina. Now, the expectations for North Carolina coming into this season weren't very high, but it was kind of hey, let's see what this team looks like under Bill Belichick. Let's see if, he really has that coaching prowess and he can kind of, escalate and elevate this UNC team. Not at all. It's been an embarrassment from the jump.
I only disagree on one point there, Kirby. I thought we looked at that schedule preseason and thought there were 8 wins there. I thought we looked at that schedule and thought that schedule was very, very manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to, it's looked awful from get-go.
Yeah.
So I think that's I didn't expect them to be horrible.
No.
And I'm not saying they are, but they're really bad.
They're pretty awful.
They're horrible.
They're horrible.
They're horrible.
All right. I didn't want
They're
to be too
horrible,
mean.
dude.
I feel like
They're horrible. Come on, man. They're horrible.
You're right.
They're
They're horrible.
They're horrible. I'm sorry. Look at old Brooksy being nice to old Bill.
Come on, man.
I just want the Tar Bills to stick around so I can keep saying Tar Bills. To be honest with you. I don't want to do this to my Kenny Dillingham boys out there, but I know they're without their quarterback this past weekend. But I don't think they were going to meet expectations they had preseason, even watching them through the first couple of weeks with Sam Leavitt. As a healthy Sam Levitt. I thought there were obvious signs of concern there in terms of are they going to meet what their expectations are. So we'll see once he gets back healthy, but I think they're playing from behind already as it is with regards to expectations going into the season. And, I mean, they don't have anything to do with people picking them to be the Big 12, champion, but they did turn things around really quickly last year, return a starting quarterback, and have arguably one of the best wide receivers in college football. So a lot of people expected them, and one of the better young football coaches that people like. So people expected them to be much, much better than even they are when they are healthy. So I'm not saying they're a bust or a flop. I'm just saying they have to be mentioned as not meeting expectations. And I think Kenny has been one of the best football coaches with regards to talking about this and manning up to and owning these shortcomings, if you will. I'm not even going to call them failures, shortcomings. Boys, it's midseason. I also have midseason awards for our listeners.
Oh, the listeners get
here's
awards.
the rule. If you're not listening right now and you don't listen through Rewatch to get these awards, you don't claim them. They get reestablished.
Oh.
Yep. Award number 1, he's on the spoon. This goes to the listener that has found us, and boy, he can't get off the spoon. Shows up every single day getting a piece. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Showing up every single day getting his fix. Joshua Armstrong.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Joshua Armstrong stays on the spoon. I don't know if he's in the chat right now.
I've seen him.
He's in the chat right now.
I
See what I mean? He's on the spoon. He's here. He's locked in. And this is a new coming thing for him. I think we're going on like 8-9 months with Joshua Armstrong. Found us in the offseason. It's like, dang, these guys no ball. Can't get him off the spoon. He's here every single day. He's locked in. In all the social media feeds is Joshua Armstrong. He's on the spoon. What's our next category?
Oh, I
thought you were.
I thought we were gonna like roll through the fan.
No. We're gonna give those out one by one. I got 5 of those.
Okay.
What's our next category?
All right.
I like this one. The Heisman winner.
Yeah, we're mid-season, little Heisman winner.
Yeah, this isn't a mid player. This is mid-season.
Oh, all right. So you see, I took this differently. I thought this was
How'd you take it?
Like who's the best of the mid players in college football? Right?
Oh,
All
so
right.
Heisman like mid.
Yeah.
The typical.
He's a really good mid player.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I feel bad saying now that no one else is going to do it, but
I mean, we were just going. It's mid-season. That's what Heisman winner means.
Well, I felt like I mean maybe I interpreted this wrong. Obviously, I did. But
Yeah,
I felt like we all agree that like if the season ended right now, Ty Simpson's the Heisman winner.
I don't know if we would all agree unanimously. I have a ballot, but yeah, he would get my first vote.
That's what I was thinking. But no, I said that the best mid player there's the best mid player we have in college football right now, in my opinion, is Mississippi State quarterback Blake Shapen.
Oh, he's an elite mid player. So is Diego Pavia too good to be elite mid, Heisman? Is he too good?
I think Diego
because their team's going to be 8-4, 9-3. God,
Yeah.
I felt like I had to upgrade an 8-4 prediction for Vanderbilt to 9-3. That's where we're at in 2025. So no, he's too good. You can't put him in Heisman.
Crazy.
I just answered my own question.
That's not a bad option, to be honest. Like if you had to
No,
pick
Blake Shapen's a decent one.
the best mid player, honestly, that's a really good option. But yeah, for the actual Heisman winner, it's Ty Simpson at the moment. I know that I've been on the Dante Moore hype train of saying like that guy's a clear front runner at the moment.
He was.
And he was until this past weekend, and it got really shaky for him. He didn't turn in a performance that a Heisman winner would against a top-ranked team in a conference game, especially at home. Just wasn't up to the standard of that. But Ty Simpson over the last 4 weeks, has been playing Heisman caliber offense and quarterback play.
Yeah, I gave my my ballot would be, I tweeted it out today, Ty Simpson, Mendoza, Ahmad Hardy. Now, is Ahmad Hardy going to be on this by the end of the SEC slate?
Probably.
I don't know.
We shall see.
But after 6 weeks, he has been the most individually excellent football player in college football, for my money. On the offensive side of the football, defensively, probably Ruben Bain. Hey, award number 2. He's King Troll.
Oh.
He's King Troll. Now, this King Troll is not just always trolling folks in the chat. He happens to do a really, really good job of trying to get under the skin. I said trying, not successfully. Trying to get under the skin of a certain co-host on this desk. He's King Troll, Hunter Lacey.
Apparently he retired last night.
Retired from trolling you?
Well, I saw a comment that said I'm retiring from hating on Kirby. So,
Trolls
But he
don't
also
retire.
trolled
Is he
you
a
in the
fraud?
midst of that, didn't he?
he's
Was
asked,
he trolling you while saying he was going to stop trolling you?
I don't
Little
know.
fake troll?
Maybe.
I think he said, I can't be associated as a fan of Christian Kirby.
Yeah.
He pretends to fake. No. He thinks about faking.
I know where this is going.
I don't know where I'm at right now.
I don't know where I'm at. Most impactful transfer, boys. Who is it?
I went with Trinidad Chambliss. I think that considering the
On my
current
list.
the current outlook of this Ole Miss team, and especially how things started with Austin Simmons, where it was like, we got another quarterback in the first year of a Lane Kiffin offense that's turning the ball over, putting them in sticky situations like he did against Kentucky. At that point in the season, it was not sure how Ole Miss is going to finish out the year, not exactly looking like a playoff team. Insert Trinidad Chambliss playing really good. I mean, he's been a very impactful player for them, and I think he's kind of reflipped the season back around for them to where it's like super dangerous team, certainly playoff caliber at the moment. We'll see this weekend when they go up against Georgia, first true road test of the year, but he's been super impactful.
I want to add on this. It's not just Chambliss. It's a lot of new additions that are playing impactful roles. The amount of offense that they run through Deuce Alexander, for people who don't know Ole Miss football, I'm going to talk about it later. He's their Jeremy Bernard. He does the same stuff. He lines up at running back. They send him in jet motion. They get him traditional carries. They design screen opportunities for him. They use him as a traditional X. Like, they just got this kid off of Wake Forest roster. I don't look him up during his stats at Wake Forest, guys. I don't think he had over 300 yards in his career at Wake Forest. He's a premier feature of this offense for these guys. Obviously, the wide receiver from Penn State, the burner they picked up. It's Caleb Odom, the kid coming over from Alabama, playing decent football right now at the tight end position for them. They use him as more of an explosive, yards after catch type of weapon. But they have hit the nail on the head in a lot of these key transfers. And do you have that on me?
He has 400. He had 400 receiving yards last year for Wake Forest.
Yeah,
he's already at 349.
That's what I'm saying. Like they are using that kid at Ole Miss in the SEC as a premier feature, and at Wake Forest they couldn't quite figure it out. And I know Wake Forest has got a whole other bunch of things going on, but you see what I'm saying, right? This is a guy that I don't think a lot of people in the portal even recognize. I didn't see him in any preseason talks as like keynote additions, greatest transfer portal edition, yada, yada, yada. They use him in a massive role. To continue this conversation, there's another SEC team I think doing a tremendous job in the portal, and it's obviously Missouri. And just, on the obviously it's Hardy, but on the defensive side of the ball as well, like Damon Wilson's playing a major role for them this year. Catalan is playing his 19th year of college football and playing good football for Missouri in the first season being there. And obviously their quarterback, Bo Pribula, just showed up this offseason as well. So I think those guys get mentions, but for me it's Fernando Mendoza. That's my vote.
I had a couple of names I wanted to choose from here. Damon Wilson was one of them. Fernando Mendoza was one of them. I had John Mateer on this list and Casey Concepcion.
Yep.
Ultimately, I went with Carson Beck.
Oh,
good
one.
We were talking about how all offseason, we don't know if this Miami team is elevated enough, has the weapons to be a playoff team. Carson Beck has certainly picked up where Cam Ward left off, it seems. And it seems that they are a playoff team on paper right now.
I'll say this much. I don't think anybody, myself included, myself especially, I don't think anybody had the prediction that they're going to come out and be as good as they were off rip, right? Their schedule was very front-loaded, and with a quarterback who couldn't really throw the football until July and a weaponry core like he's talking about that was relatively not only inexperienced to an extent with Malachi Tony being a true freshman, but most of them were new, right? Like CJ Daniels is balling right now. He just got there. The kid from BYU by game 3 against USF is going for a career high. The amount of we got good rapidly that happened there was way beyond my expectations. I said going into the year, if he comes out and plays high, if he comes out and plays great NFL caliber football, that would surpass a lot of my questions about him because I didn't know if he could be an immediate elevator of everything around him, and I feel like he's doing that to an extent right now at Miami.
For sure. I would say going back to Trinidad in this conversation, I think Ole Miss has certainly gotten the most bang for their buck, though. Like, you found a guy that wasn't even playing D1 football, and you got him out of the – and I remember when they got him out of the portal, we kind of looked at them funny of, what are we doing here? Like, Austin Simmons is going to be the starting quarterback. Why are we grabbing another transfer quarterback or grabbing a quarterback out of the transfer portal? Now he's starting for you, and he's winning games for you.
I like Chambliss as the keynote edition. Is this one of those situations where they don't stumble into this if Austin Simmons doesn't get hurt, though?
I mean, it could have.
Or was he going to play his way out of that position? He was not shy about benching a kid, I don't think.
He was giving it up.
Yeah. He was slowly but surely giving that job up even prior to an injury. Do we think we see a portal? Chambliss has got 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you might have a hard time holding on to both of those guys.
Where's Chambliss going to go?
I mean, we've seen crazier moves in college football. I mean, I don't know.
I think that would be insane.
I mean, think of it this way. You are going to have to renegotiate with him. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're certainly not paying him probably starting quarterback level pay right now. So when you get into a renegotiation period, a lot of things can happen.
You're going to lose I would assume the millionaire quarterback if this is the case. I don't know. It's a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah,
the cheaper one's outplaying the expensive one right now.
Definitely.
But ultimately, the cheaper one becomes more expensive. Next category, our next award, actually. He's Owen Wilson in the movie Behind Enemy Lines. You know, Owen Wilson, not really fitting the character mold for that right there. You know, you're not that guy, pal. You're not supposed to be in an action war movie, hiding yourself in the mud behind enemy lines. We're going to give that award to noted Alabama fan, Peasy. Always in the chat, always stirring stuff up. Doubt he's here today. I don't want to doubt the man.
He's here. He's here.
You know what? If we go 5 for 5 on these awards, we selected the right people.
Shout out Peasy.
Shout out Peasy. If we go 5 for 5, are we 3 for 3 so far?
We
Was
are.
Hunter Lacey here? Oh, if we go, are we going to be? We already know 4's here. Is 4 here? 4's already here. He's always here. That's why he's getting an award tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to my man Peasy. We appreciate you, my guy. Best team, 1, 2, 3. Ohio State.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
It's hard to even argue. Like, I guess you're picking between Ohio State and Miami, not to discredit Indiana, because they've certainly started to enter themselves into this conversation. But comparatively, between Ohio State and Miami, I would say those two teams look like the most complete teams in college football right now. They play complementary football. We know the most about those two teams, it seems like. So we'll see, though. I mean, it's still a lot. We're only halfway through. There's still a lot that can happen in the back half of a season.
Yeah, I mean, there's arguments against all of them, but I think the best case that you have right now is at Ohio State. Reigning national champions, other than a Texas team that they suffocated on offense, they've looked like the best team in college football. They basically walked through everyone. So,
boys, can we 100% with our whole heart say that Ohio State is the best football team? I mean, college football is one of their best reporters thinks Ryan Day might not be happy where he's at. I'm just not my reporting. Not my reporting. One of the highest regarded journalists in the sport said that on Pat McAfee today.
They said that?
Hey, everybody's up for that Penn State job. I don't know if Ryan Day's happy where he's at. Verbatim, Heather Dinich.
I mean, she might know something we don't.
I know Buddy just won a national title and is on the ropes to win another one. So
it's true.
I think he's all right. You know? I think he's pretty happy.
We have seen coaches win national titles and the relationship quickly sours at schools, though.
Let him lose to Michigan again,
what
Brooks.
Is he, Ed Orgeron? Is he taking his shirt off and running around with the co-eds? What's going on?
Let him lose to Michigan again.
Jimbo Fisher had a title in 2013, and then 2 years later was like, all right, I'm out of here, guys. Bye.
Oh, okay, so is someone go offer Ryan Day 3 times as much money as Ohio State can offer?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying those 2 examples you just threw at me are very, very historically not Ryan Day.
Oh, There's a Florida fan right now saying, guys, I think we might be able to get Ryan Day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Penn State fan that thinks, Vince Lombardi was frozen solid and they can rehire him right now. Just give him his mojo back, Austin Powers style. He'll be all right. Just unthaw the man. Award number 4. The Early Worm Chases the Bird Award.
Say that again?
You heard me right. The Early Worm Chases the Bird Award.
Okay.
This award goes to the fan and the listener who stays showing up first. And it goes to our man, Graham. Did we get a last name on Graham?
I don't want to get it wrong.
I mean, you can scroll up to number 1 chat or number 1 person in the chat today and find him. I'm sure he'll be right there. He's always number 1 in the chat.
Actually,
my man
wasn't
Graham.
Number 1 today.
Oh, no.
Consistently, Graham usually is number 1.
Consistently, Graham is his name?
No. No. I don't want to get his last name wrong. I can't even go that far up in the chat anymore.
All right, shout out.
Graham knows who we're talking
about. To my man, Graham. Close second, Roman.
Yeah, Roman.
Close second, Roman.
There he is.
That boy, Graham Holditch. Hold this dub right there, Holditch. Best prospect. This award goes to, hey, in a vacuum, draft him 1-1. Who you got?
I'm going Ruben Bain.
You going Ruben Bain? That's a good shout. Who you got?
Sticking with the usual, I'll go with Caleb Downs.
Okay,
I think
Caleb Downs.
Playing the hits.
All right, we're 2 for 3, and now we're going to go 3 for 3 because I might just take Arvell Reese number 1. I think that dude is such a hybrid football player, and that's all the rave now. If you know what to do, if you know how to use them, and you're creative enough as a defensive coordinator, give me Arvell Reese. You liking what the Falcons are doing with Jalen Walker right about now?
They're doing a lot of good things with him.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
They have surprised me. They're doing shout out to Jeff Ulbrich for getting that figured out.
I don't know if Arvell Reese can be in man on the line of scrimmage occasionally in rundowns like Jalen can, but I don't know if Jalen is the type of space player that Arvell Reese is. You know what I'm saying? They're 2 totally different types of player, but similar in the sense that they are hybrid linebackers. I would probably say Arvell for me. Award number 5, he loves ball. He loves ball. When I think of this listener, I'm like, dang, that damn near dedicated his weekends and his life to ball. Sami Ibrahim. You love ball, sir. Sami Ibrahim traveling around this country watching college football. And not all of them great football games, to be honest with you. Okay? I love ball, Sami Ibrahim.
Most of them haven't been, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Like, he's only seen a handful of, really good games.
Is Sammy going to break this?
We'll give him some time.
He usually shows up later in the evening.
Yeah, maybe a local listener. He going to come to find out he got a dub.
Yes, he is.
Category, Coach of the Year. Who's it going to? I think I got the best nominee here. I'll go last because I think he's getting forgotten.
I'm going to kind of taint my own take right here because
you're going to taint your what?
My own take right here because I'm going to admittedly say I don't really love the name that I picked, but I had a hard time kind of arguing against it. I went with Mario Cristobal.
Ooh.
I went with him.
Up to this point, it is correct, but I
think considering that I had a lot of questions about this team.
I got to stop you. If we held a gun to your head right now and said Mario Cristobal of the Miami Hurricanes or the Texas A&M Aggies, you got to pick one of them and believe in one of them to win a national title, or else I'm shooting you. Are you just eating a bullet?
If I had to pick one?
You got to. Right now, wholeheartedly, you got to ride it out. I believe this team's going to win the national title. Are you just going out?
I'd go with Miami.
Okay.
I trust their interior offensive line and defensive
line.
And
you feel okay about it?
Some would say Texas A&M has the best line play in the SEC right now.
Some might.
Playing really good ball.
Playing great ball.
I don't feel good about either one of those. But if I had to choose between the two.
Going back to Mario Cristobal, though, I gave it to him because I had a lot of questions about this team and the weaponry and the defense. I thought they lost too much for them to be considered as one of these college football playoff contenders. But he hit in the we even questioned getting Carson Beck and paying Carson Beck what they did this offseason, considering the circumstances there. And he's hitting the quarterback position again. The weapons look great for them. Offensive line is phenomenal. Defensive line looks great as well. I think that he's deserving in this conversation.
So you had a take earlier in the offseason, and I kind of agreed with you up to this point, and it seems like it's coming true. You said that if Josh Heupel somehow finds a way to go 9 to 10 wins this season, he gets Coach of the Year. And I feel like they're on track to do so right now. They've got a loss. They had a heartbreaking loss to Georgia, but Joey Aguilar has been everything that people wanted a Tennessee quarterback to be. He's been great for that system. The defense, while it hasn't been as locked down as it was last year, is still very solid in my opinion, despite the fact that they have some man coverage issues. I'm going to say at this point it's Josh Heupel because everyone had that team dead in the water.
Signetti obviously deserves a shout here. There's
Signetti
no doubt
was the
about
obvious
that.
choice.
Signetti, I think, is the obvious choice. That was the layup there. My choice, I feel like people forgot, and I know it happened earlier in the year, but like Alex Golesh. Alex Golesh is doing a hellified job at South Florida this year and continuing to roll the momentum down there. They're not slowing down, I don't think, down there. Got a really good shot of being the playoff team for the mid-major selection. How about a shout for Brent Key?
Yep.
Definitely.
Deserves some love down there. I added a couple categories here. Best coordinators that I've studied this year, guys that are really cooking right about now. Obviously, Lane Kiffin, we talk about him. Obviously, Brent Venables with Brent Brett, we talk about those two. Those two are the perennial selections for me. I really like what Mike Denbrock's doing right about now at Notre Dame. I mean, this guy was cooking at LSU. He's still cooking out there at LSU. My man Batoon, I forget my man Batoon's first name. Coach Batoon, the defensive coordinator at?
I know the answer.
You do?
Yeah, you told me.
Mizzou. Batoon at Mizzou had a damn plan and a half this weekend against Alabama. I thought it was a really, really good script. If you can play that ballsy and have those types of edge rushers, that's the plan. But you got to have two dudes like that, and they did a really, really good job. I thought they also countered really, really well, meaning like every time Bama did something to counteract what they were doing, they changed it. For example, every time you got two dominant edge rushers, what's the answer? What do?
Run through between
the
guards.
No. As a pass protection unit, my bad.
Move the launch point.
You chip them. Chip them, move the launch point. Chip them, move the launch point, right? You chip them, most importantly. As soon as they started chipping guys, what did they start doing? They started overloading and sending a lot of numbers in the interior of the defensive line. They did a great job spinning off. Patricia's an obvious answer as well. I just wish the Big Ten would let me show y'all what they're doing, but,
Can't do it.
Middle fingers up. Underrated player award, I added this as well. Guys that I'm watching, and I'm like, damn, nobody's talking about you. They should. Kewan Lacey, running back from Ole Miss, making so many people miss. And really designing or finding ways to be an explosive runner behind an offensive line that's not creating lanes. And that's hard to do. That's really, really hard to do. And another player, very locally based here for us, but there is nobody talking about how well Kristen Miller's playing. And I think he's playing the best down-to-down football as a defensive tackle that there has been in a long time. He don't play the highs of the highs like the Jalen Carters of the world do or did, but this down-to-down excellence that 52's putting on tape right now needs to be admired. So I gave it some time here in the National Hour as well. Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have final award, or is that it?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot of specifically these football coaches. There's a lot of these guys that they gonna get some money. They gonna get a lot of money. They might so much money they might need new wallets. Christian, they might have to head over to Ridge.com, use promo code Brooks10, and I know they just gonna get massive raises like Alex Golesh when he takes one of these massive jobs and gets $100 million. But he still might need a new wallet, and he still might need a promo code. Brooks10, Ridge.com, get you a free or a 10% off one of them fine wallets right there. Amen?
Yeah, I've been fidgeting with this. I mean, it's fun to play with as well. It's perfect
I
for
noticed
holding
you had
cards.
it in your hand all night last night.
Yeah, it's a good fidget tool as well.
Good fidget tool?
Move your cards in. Now, it's very secure. Holds them well. Keeps your cash as well.
Very durable.
We love that.
Durable.
That's promo code Brooks10. Get you 10% off, Ridge.com. They also got keychains. They got a battery pack. Mine's charging right now because we got a hectic day tomorrow. My God, I have never seen a day on my schedule look like tomorrow. So I'm going to need that battery pack tomorrow. Shout out to our friends over at Ridge. Again, 10% off, Ridge.com/Brooks10. Top 5 things we have learned to this point in the season. What you got?
You want to start it, Jay Will?
Yeah, I can start.
ISO Joe.
All right, the first thing that I have learned this season is Preseason thoughts and opinions are harder than ever to convey correctly. I mean, it felt like all offseason because, I mean, you spend the entire time from February all the way until basically the end of August.
Well, we do. Some people take it off. We do.
What we do, how we do the offseason here is we're just letting the takes fly for about 5 months nonstop. And you run into things like saying Clemson is just going to walk through the ACC and they're going to be one of the most complete teams in college football and they're going to make the college football playoff, and then they make you look foolish. And then you have other teams that are major surprises, like Georgia Tech being a big surprise, Indiana being a big surprise this year. And then like Penn State being one of these as well. We talked about them being a biggest flop of the year. Especially with how much movement there is in college football, with players going to different landing spots and getting a change of scenery and them kind of revamping their careers. I think it's so hard to really correctly convey your thoughts and opinions ahead of a college football season. So that's first off. Number two, great running backs still matter in this sport. I know we're seeing it at the professional level as well. And not to say that the running back position ever became like not important or people kind of just took it to the side and was like, whatever, we want skill position players and we want quarterbacks. But I think especially now when you look across the sport, you mentioned Lacey for Ole Miss. He's been huge for them. Ahmad Hardy has been massive for them. I think that just continuously like running backs have become so important in the sport.
Jonathan, a lot of people have a real tough time judging the efficiency and value of really good backs, maybe in the NFL football world too. I mean, pretty crazy.
Some would say that.
Some would say.
Be careful where you're getting your information from. I'll just put it that.
Cuidado.
Number three, nobody is as good as you think they are, and nobody is as bad as you think they are.
It's a 70, by the way.
A 70. Again, nobody is as good as you think. Nobody is as bad as you think. I mean, UCLA looked like maybe one of the worst Power 4 football teams we have ever seen in recent memory. And then they go and rattle off 2 wins in a row after a head coaching change. They beat Penn State. Like, never as bad as you think. And then also never as good as you think. You watch Oregon for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. They look like the national title favorites. They look like they're going to walk to the Big Ten championship and win it. They look like the top seed in the college football playoff. And then they drop one to Indiana. Alabama loses in week 1 against Florida State. Everybody writes them off. Now Alabama looks like maybe the favorite to win the SEC right now. Certainly continues to climb up the ranks of potential national title contenders. Clemson looks like a great team on paper going into the season. Really not that good of a team. Like all of these, there's so many scenarios and examples of this, but again, never as good as you think, never as bad as you think. Number 4, your day of exposure will come. It will. I don't care what the schedule looks like. I don't care what your opponents look like. At some point in the season, your day of exposure is going to come. I think we saw this with Texas against Florida, where it looked like we were building up to that moment where Texas was getting into some hairy situations, and then they go on the road against Florida. They drop a loss there. And then also, I think Georgia had one of these moments as well. You go on the road at Tennessee. You look like a world beater at that point. You survive that one. You come back home against Alabama, and the defense just doesn't look the way it should, and the offense has some sputtering moments. I think you can just find multiple examples. I mean, Indiana's had one of these as well, where Iowa plays them close, and then you go and play really well against Oregon. Like I think eventually every team is going to run into one of these moments in the season of you're going to get exposed somewhere. We're finally going to find out what you're about and what this team actually is. And then my last one. Rankings have never become more irrelevant than they have right now. And I'm not just talking about like people not paying attention to them or how AP voters are deciding to vote for their polls. I'm not talking about that. Just look at this week's slate and the betting odds for these games, and it will tell you everything you need to know about the rankings. Vandy is favored over LSU right now. Georgia favored over Ole Miss this weekend. Duke favored over Georgia Tech. Duke is not even ranked right now. Georgia Tech is a top 15 team in the rankings right now. Top Duke 12. Is favored in that one. Utah favored over BYU. We see that every single week now, it seems. We have a segment now dedicated to fishy lines. The rankings don't matter. You don't even need to look at those because apparently one way feels another than the rankings feel right now. So it's gotten to a point where, I mean, like even when we talk about matchups, it seems like now we're not going the number 9 Georgia Bulldogs are going up against the number 4 or 5 Ole Miss Rebels. Like we don't do that. True. We just say Georgia is going to play Ole Miss or this, that, and the other. Like rankings just aren't even a part of the discussion anymore, it seems.
Tight top 5 there, Jay Will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? No OLI for me.
Really?
I might have cheated. One of these might have 2 points. But, hey, you know what? We're going to let it slide tonight. Things that I have learned, top 5. Number 1, expectations impact emotional or the emotion to the outcome. All right, we have talked about this on this channel for a long time. You have to set and meet realistic and attainable expectations. This is not a football principle, boys and girls. This is a life principle. If the people around you expect more of you and you are not meeting it, they're going to be upset. All right, prime example. The expectations going into this season were that Penn State were going to go compete for a national title. Not only were they going to meet the standard of 10-2, we're going to lose the games we're supposed to, but they were going to exceed that this year. They were poured in to exceeding that this year. Not only did they fail to meet the standard expectation, they failed to meet the new reestablished expectation, all right, and lost to UCLA Northwestern. That'll get you fired. All right, that'll get you fired. So we have to set realistic expectations, which is my secondary point to my primary point, number one, that I have learned. We have to re-gauge our expectations as college football fans as a whole. You have to understand, we've been telling you that parity is a real thing. It is my final bullet point that I have learned. Parity is confirmed. We thought going into the season harder to pick the winner than ever. Right now, 6 weeks in, it looks like Ohio State's really great. We don't know who else is, all right, at this point in the season. All right, so the idea of your expectations need to be that every week's going to be tight. Jonathan just told you the lines are more suspicious than ever. The rankings, who you think is good, is harder than ever right now in the world of college football. You need to expect that and realize that as a college football fan. Number two, waiting is not hating. All right, I tweeted this one out the other day, and I like it. I think it's going to be a new principle, particularly with regards to young quarterbacks. I fell victim to the expecting Arch Manning to be great now. I think he's going to be really, really good. I think he's developing. I think they're figuring it out slowly but surely out there at Texas, okay? I think he's going to be all right. I fell victim a little bit to Bryce Underwood. He's going to be all right. I think he's going to be okay. He's really, really talented. They've got to grow as a football team around him and continue to grow, right? A lot of young quarterbacks out there. Saga Batule going through young growing spurts out there as a quarterback as well. And it's why I waited on CJ Carr. And honestly, I think I feel safest right now about him than all the rest of them. And I waited longer on him. I think I got burned on the first couple, and that's okay. I think I'm okay waiting moving forward. I think I'm okay being late on a guy in terms of saying he might be the next one. Number three, running the ball is hard. I don't know if the stats back this up, but the film sure as hell does. Every football team I watch in this conference feels like they are running their head into a brick wall, and then occasionally the wall and the dam breaks and they bust one for 45. That is SEC football right now. I don't know if that's Big Ten football because I don't watch a ton of it other than the guys at the top. And when the two top teams two of the four top teams play, I'll watch it. All right. But other than that, it's a lot of Ohio State death gripping Illinois. But most of the time, when I watch SEC football, and you can confirm this because you're in here a lot of the time when we do the studies, it's a lot of what we talk about this season is sputter, spit. Run game's just explosive. Just running into brick walls and then eventually dams breaking. Number four, buy the quarterback and the OC. Buy the quarterback and the OC and hope the quarterback stays healthy. I think we should have learned this after Vanderbilt, and I think Oklahoma did learn it, right? Watch Vanderbilt bring over Beck and Diego Pavia from New Mexico State, and then immediately hot start, and it continues in year two. Oklahoma doing a very similar track right now. And I don't know if it's going to create national title expectations right now, or they're going to be a 10-2 football team right now, but they got a shot in a great window to be one next year. They really do, because they've got the budget to go out and put much more around Mateer in year two and Ben Arbuckle in year two than Vanderbilt could ever dream out there. So that's a big one for me. Also, on top of this, quarterback related, so kind of 7 points here. Quarterback growth is not guaranteed. It's just not. The development and hoping that you're going to get better is not. It's not an assumption. It's a hope. All right. And the two most notable characters for this, for me, are Lenore Sellers and Garrett Nussmeier. You can say that everything around them is failing, and I would agree with you. I'm 100% wholeheartedly on that board with you. However, these two guys are still struggling with stuff that they struggled with last year. Lenore Sellers refuses to be boring. On 1st and 10, when he's got a 5-yard hitch right in front of him, he ain't taking it. He's still not doing it. They are still playing behind the sticks a lot because he's taking bad sacks occasionally, and he's killing drives not playing on script. And Garrett Nussmeier is still throwing balls he should not throw. And that bothers me. That really, really bothers me, and growth is not guaranteed. Number 5, parity. Already talked about it. It is confirmed. It is everything we thought it was going to be and more.
I like it. A not so tight top 5, but
I mean, it was tight. No old eyes. It was just elaborate.
Okay. All right. My number 5 thing that I learned this season. The idea that elite quarterbacks were going to be bountiful and this was going to be the most loaded quarterback class we've ever seen was an absolute farce. We had Arch Manning, Lenoris Sellers, Drew Aller, Cade Klubnik, DJ Lagway, Sam Levitt, Garrett Nussmer. All these guys were getting, hey, they're going to be really, really good quarterbacks this year. First round buzz, might be number 1 overall buzz. All of them have kind of flamed out thus far, failed to deliver. We've seen, it's fair to say that.
Not my Mensa, baby. He's still playing good ball.
Well, I mean, he also wasn't on this list of like, hey, this guy's a first-round pick. For me. All right, well. Number 2, on-paper wins are solely for the paper. Every year we do this where we get 2 or 3 games into a schedule and we see a team and we go, okay, we know what to expect here. And then you go down the rest of their schedule and say, that's a win, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win, that's a win. This is this. Their record's probably going to be 8-4 or 9-3 at best. That's ridiculous. More times than not, you go through the schedule and the guaranteed win or this game you circled where you said, there's no way they lose that game, they end up losing it. The on-paper wins in the preseason, they're going to go this record, or we've seen them play 3 or 4 games. Here's what the week 17 matchup is going to look like. Keep that on paper. It doesn't matter. Don't listen to it. Number 3, the interior defensive line is the most valuable sport in the defense, or the most valuable position group on the defense, and it's the scarcest. I think you look around the entire college football landscape, and there are very few elite defensive line rooms, much less elite defensive line players. If you have one of these guys, you're miles ahead of most college football teams because it's just not as sparse. It's more sparse than it's ever been. Number 4, the hesitancy to fire is gone. We walked through all of 2024 last year and said, man, they didn't fire anyone in the SEC. They didn't do any of this. There have been a lot of grace and a lot of, we just had a bunch of conference realignment. We don't need to fire this guy and get big buyouts. That is gone now. They don't care. If you aren't delivering on your expectations, you're out of here. And then number 5, there aren't very many, if any, elite teams this year.
Ooh.
I feel like we all looked around and said, yeah, Ohio State's the best team. But even still, we have questions as to whether or not they are truly elite. They just haven't been strained. But then after that, it's a lot of, well, they're good, but it's also maybe. So I don't think that there's elite teams this year in college football.
Boys, I'm not upset, but we're 15 minutes behind schedule. That segment was dynamite. It was money. It went way too long. Speaking of money, shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. I want to give them those guys a great shout out. Promo code Brooks today will get you a 100% deposit match over there. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy sports platform in the world. Again, guys, promo code Brooks over there today. 100% deposit match for you first-time users. By the way, it's October 14th. We've been doing these reads for a month and a half. You as an audience member should already be supporting those who are supporting us. So if you've already used your first-time promo code, don't worry. They got a free 20 for you today over there. Just go over there, use promo code Brooks if you're a first-time user. If not, they got a free $20 giveaway for you guys today. Promo code Brooks over on Sleeper today. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to these big-time football games. Guys, let's wrap up. Hey, which one of these games can we absolutely nix right about now? Because we've got to squeeze some of this, and there's a couple that we 100% have to hit.
Let's hit the ones we need to first.
All right, let's hit the ones we need to absolutely first, and let's be lengthy like we're supposed to with regards to these big-time football games. Let's start with LSU at Vandy. Again, can't believe it. Can't believe I'm sitting here saying, of all of these games, we have to pick LSU at Vandy. Keys to the matchup, boys, as the Tigers head into Nashville to take on the Commodores. For me, LSU, I'm going to give up on you establishing a run game. I'm giving it up.
It's over.
I'm done. I'm going to stop saying got to get some balance. To hell with it. We're 6 games in. Probably can't do it. So here's the key. Don't turn that damn rock over. Don't give it to the other football team. You cannot do it this weekend. Garrett Nussmeier, that's the key. For Vandy, hey, irrational confidence football players. They are. Whole football team. Got to get back to making plays. Didn't make enough of those irrationally confident football plays, particularly at the quarterback position on the road against Alabama. That's the key this week for the Doors.
Well, it's kind of a bummer that I'm going to say this after what you just said. The Tigers have to find a way to run the ball. They absolutely have to.
Ain't going to do it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Which is what terrifies me about this game for them. Then for Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia has to be special against this LSU defense. They're playing really, really well. It's why they're winning games right now, because the offense has not been what it needs to be for LSU, but the defense certainly is. So Diego Pavia going to have to be special this weekend.
The key to my matchup is the number 25.
Ooh.
LSU has failed
You
to
stay
score
doing this.
25 points against any Power 4 opponent this season. 25 points, that's it. 25 on offense. They've been held to 20 or less, I think, 3 times.
They've already played their 3 non-con, right?
I believe so. They've played...
Because they played Clemson and 2 tomato cans?
Correct. So it's SEC from here on out. And
No,
then
they got Western Kentucky.
You get Western Kentucky at the end. But still, offensive production this year, not good. If you cannot get to 25 points if you're LSU, you're cooked.
X factor for me, it's eye discipline on that Blake Baker defense. Man, Blake Baker is a havoc-creating SOB. Like, he wants to just throw a bunch of stuff at the kitchen sink, or rather, he wants to throw the kitchen sink. You can't do that against Vandy. Vandy is about down-to-down discipline, and that really worries me about an LSU football team that has struggled defensively to have down-to-down discipline. They're great. They're a really, really good unit. They get left on the field a lot because of what their offense is doing right now, but it is an X factor in this football game. It concerns me.
Yeah, that's why I have Whit Weeks as my X factor going into that eye discipline category for them. He's got to be a big playmaker for them defensively this weekend.
All right, so I pulled a J-Will for this one for my X factor. I was doing a deep dive into the stats. Did you know that Vanderbilt ranks 131st in the nation in opposing passing attempts? So teams do not throw the football on them.
What are they they're not super light in the box.
Actually, no. Teams want to throw the football, and they don't run the football.
Oh, you talking about the 131st in rushing attempts.
And passing attempts. Like, they are the 131st worst. Like, more teams
They've
than ever.
seen more attempts than anybody
correct.
else.
People throw against them
People
more
are
than
throwing it
anyone.
against them a lot.
And if you
that
know
was
any,
very confusing for
my
me.
bad.
I don't know.
No, my bad.
It could
I
be
read
my
it.
brain.
I read it poorly.
Okay.
But no, we know an LSU offense, like we just said, they're not going to establish the run.
They don't care.
This game hinges on how well Garrett Nussmeier can throw the football. He's my X factor for that regard. Vanderbilt is not going to really let them run the ball on them. LSU doesn't really want to run the ball at this point in the year. Garrett Nussmeier is my X factor.
Unless it doesn't happen, let's get into it. I got Vandy out-rushing LSU by 100 yards in this football game and somehow taking an L. Unless it doesn't happen. You heard it here first.
I like it.
This may not sound too bold, but at this point, it certainly is. Garrett Nussmeier has his first turnover-free game against an SEC opponent this season. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Wow, that's bold.
That's pretty bold, Jim.
It is at this point.
Bold.
It is at this point.
My unless it doesn't happen is sort of a Sunday's headline today. This will be the Brian Kelly hot seat game. This is the game that gets him on the hot seat, and that will be because Vanderbilt wins.
Brian back on the broiler.
There it is. I knew you could.
Come on, man. I mean, it's right there. 30
Back
seconds.
on
I mean,
the
10
broiler,
seconds.
back
on the broiler. Back in the broiler. We'll figure it out. We'll workshop it. It's
Tune
something
it
there.
up just a tad.
There's gold there somewhere. I know I just said that Vandy's going to lose Vandy's going to lose despite outrushing them by 100 yards. But I got Vandy. My prediction is Vandy wins this in a rock fight. 20-17. Just finds a way. They're at home. They're an inspired football team. I'm not saying LSU isn't, but I worry about it. And LSU is a man-to-man football team in its core. I wonder how you do man-to-man principles against this Vandy football team. Most teams just line up and play, some zone coverage against them because you got to keep a lot of eyes on the box with all the RPO and a lot of the option stuff. So
There's I really want to pick Vanderbilt to win this game, but I think LSU's defense is too good. That's what I think. Defense always travels. I know this is at Vanderbilt, but again, I think that LSU's defense is going to be the best unit in this game. So I have LSU winning a close one and a low-scoring game. I got them winning 24-21.
By the way, decent home field advantage last Vandy home game I watched. Like they sold that sucker out with Vandy fans. Like for years they always sell out, but it's like half covered with the other team. So this is big time out there in Nashville. Hey, let's move on to our next football game.
Whoa.
Hey. My bad.
Don't shortchange him.
That's on me. Go ahead.
I think that LSU's offense is so bad at this point in the year that I can't trust them to win football games, especially when you're going on the road. Now, granted, like we just said, it's Vanderbilt. It's not the most daunting environment, but it's not an easy environment. It's not going to be easier than playing in Baton Rouge. So I have Vanderbilt winning this game 28-24.
You got to think about firing him if he loses to Vandy, don't you?
That's what my unless it doesn't happen for.
What's the line for Brian Kelly on hot seat? With this roster, they spent a lot of money on this window.
I think he's the type of coach where if it goes catastrophically wrong, then you get rid of him in the middle of the season. But he's an end of the year fire for me.
Yeah, I agree. if you fire him. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I don't know if you can either.
Man, I don't know. Knee jerk nowadays, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But you kind of have to be because it moves so quickly and it can falter so fast.
I think it just gets him on the hot seat. I think 2 losses at this point in the season with the schedule that you have left is like, oh, you have to win out or you're not making the playoff.
Yeah.
So that's why he's on the hot seat.
I mean, we're year 4 now. It's LSU. You can't make a playoff in 4 years at LSU. You got to go. Mm-hmm. Agree or disagree?
Especially with the 12 team.
I mean, yeah, especially with the 12 team. USC at Notre Dame. The Trojans head to Notre Dame Stadium to take on the Irish. Keys to the matchup for me, which run game? Both of these run games really, really good right now, all right, for these teams. USC coming off a 6.5 yards per carry attempt game out there at LA against Michigan. Right? And we know this Notre Dame football team can run the ball. But which one of these football teams can pair the run game with explosive natures out of the pass? And it's set up for both of these guys to do really well. C.J. Carr's playing really, really good football, and I believe they have a true X in Malachi Fields out there for the first time. And I don't know how long since watching Notre Dame football. Their weapons on the inside and the slot are really, really good. Got great tight ends, as they always do at Notre Dame. On the flip side for USC, this is a Mekhi Lemon show. Jacoby Lane's really, really good, but Mekhi Lemon is their explosive hunter, particularly off of play action. Which one of these teams can create chunks through the pass? For me right now, I like what CJ Carr's putting on. I know I'm a little bit hooked on the latest of the late, with regards to my film studies, but he's playing good ball.
Yeah, that was one of my keys to the game of here's a shocker to some. Notre Dame has to manufacture explosives because USC has been great in creeping explosives off the field defensively. They've been a balanced team, and they're doing it the right way. I think they have a legit defense this year. So Notre Dame's got to figure that out. And then also continuing that, C.J. Carr has to protect the ball against his team. They rank 16th in the country for turnovers forced. They've already forced 8 interceptions this year. So some scary territory there, so make sure that you are not turning the ball over against this team.
Yeah, my X factor for this game is which team can establish the run better. Notre Dame's got a really, really good 1-2 punch in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. At the same point, we just watched USC gash Michigan last week, so whoever can establish this run, like you said, will set up those explosives on the pass.
Jeremiah Love came back in that football game last week, right?
I believe he did, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so he's good to go. Are we good there? Mm-hmm. We don't feel any worry about 4.
I mean, he might be on a pitch count, but what's new?
We know Jadarian Price is really, really good.
Yeah, and even if you have him on a pitch count.
Did you see the comments from Marcus Freeman about Jadarian Price having a little bit of a fumbling problem right about now? Mm-hmm. I loved it. You saw him? I loved his comments. He basically was like, you don't say, hey, don't do that like you do with your kids. You rep it out. You give him opportunities every single day in practice to get better at it. You don't. As a football coach, when a kid makes a mistake, a player makes a mistake, you don't just go over there and condone the mistake. You give him opportunities to find ways to get better at the thing that he failed to do, right? That was the whole – it was such a good coaching little 90-second spit in his press conference today or this week. I just loved it, man. I think he's such a good football coach all around. X factor in this football game, I already talked about it a little bit. It is the explosive weapons, right? For me, it is Mekhi Lemon, and it is what they can do with Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields is doing such a good job balancing the field for them right now at Notre Dame. Like when you have a true X, we've always talked about this on this network. It kind of balances, or it changes the math defensively when, you're going to give him one-on-ones, pick and stick, nice and easy over there as a quarterback. What's your X factor, Jonathan?
I have Malachi Fields as well, but for this reason, I think this is going to be the first time this season that USC has had to face a true X receiver. I'm not sure any of their other opponents have, to this level, I should say, of a guy of Malachi Fields' caliber.
Yeah, Michigan definitely didn't have one.
Purdue.
I mean, Illinois got Beatty. They don't run through an X. He's more of a slot.
They have Georgia Southern on the schedule. So, this is the first time where it's going to be we got to dedicate bodies to that side of the field because of this guy. And he's an explosive playmaker, so that's why he's my X factor.
I've hammered down Jadarian Price on this segment, and I'm going to do it again just because I think that the change of pace backer from Jeremiah Love, everyone knows that Jeremiah Love is a massive threat when he's on the field. If you can get Jadarian Price to also be causing issues for this defense, USC could be in for a long day.
Boys, I find myself liking the Trojans every single week a little bit more and more. I feel like I like what they're doing defensively, structurally. I feel like I like what they're doing on the offensive side of the football. They're leaning on people in the run game like Lincoln Riley offenses do. Like, if you go back and look at his heyday as an OC and a head coach at Oklahoma, them suckers were rushing the football for 200, 250 yards every game. Like, they were getting after it with counter and in the run game. They're doing the same thing again at USC. I like them a lot. That being said, CJ Carr wins this football game shootout fashion, throws for 350 plus. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I'm going to lean into my X factor here. Malachi Fields finishes with 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I think we get the game of the week this week from here. I'm going to go, this game goes to double overtime. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't
double
happen.
OT for the second time? Did that A&M game go to double OT or just single OT?
Single
OT, I believe.
Yeah, got away with a hold right there late. Yeah. Damn, Notre Dame, couple plays away from undefeated. I think so. Prediction, I got Notre Dame 38-35, boys.
Ooh, you think it's a high-scoring game?
I'm telling you, I see a lot of points in this foosball game.
I don't see a lot of points in this game. I got it Notre Dame 27, USC 24.
Give me Notre Dame 41, USC 40.
Good Lord.
It's going to double overtime.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I mean, that's 14 points in OT right there.
Okay.
Hey, guess what Saturday is?
The third Saturday.
3. It's the third Saturday in October, which means the Tennessee Volunteers are headed down to Tuscaloosa to take on the Tide. Boys, it's a night game out there in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Keys to the matchup, I got a lot of them. Tennessee, it's that man-to-man defense, right? It's not only about the dudes from Alabama, and they got a lot of them. They got great weapons. I would argue they have the best wide receiver core right now in the SEC. All right, they're playing great ball. Quarterback's playing great ball. So the idea of playing man-to-man against those guys right now is dangerous alone. But the idea that you're going to play man-to-man against all them bunches that they throw in that offense, it's almost impossible. Like when we watched them at Washington, we talked about how it's impossible to play man-to-man against this football team. All right, the only team that has successfully stopped this passing attack when it is at its hummest, right? When it is humming at its highest rates. And right now, I believe it is. And during his last year at Washington, it was in the national title against Michigan. They changed coverage units and zone coverage so much the entire football game. That's not what Tennessee does. Tennessee's either lining up playing zone or lining up playing man-to-man pressure in the box. It is a dangerous thing for me in this football game. I'm paying attention to it for Tennessee defensively. Offensively for Alabama, it is about continuing to find balance, all right? Continuing to establish balance on this offensive side of the football, running it really, really well to close the football game against Missouri. Can you continue to do so in this football game?
Keys to the game for me are Tennessee secondary. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to play really well this weekend against not only because of Ty Simpson, but because of the weapons that they have. Can't be giving it up in the passing game like you have been as of late and expect to walk out of a road trip with a win. And then on the flip side, Alabama has to survive the explosives that Tennessee's passing game creates because they're going to get them. It's inevitable. They proved it every single week that they're going to get you at some point in this game and probably multiple times. The keys to that are your defense has to survive. They may get it down to the 20-yard line in one play, but force them to a field goal or force them to turn it over on downs. You have to do those things if you're going to beat this team.
In an effort to not sound like a broken record with Tennessee DB stopping this Alabama wide receiver core, I want to say winning the third and fourth downs are crucial. I feel like more so than ever, Ty Simpson, while he's a very, very good quarterback, he's the best in the nation at finding ways to turn third and longs, fourth and longs into conversions where it just guts you as an offense or defense.
Doesn't that make him the best quarterback in college football?
Sure, yeah.
If he's, I'm just asking. I'm not saying you don't.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying in football, I would argue that if you're the best in the most critical moments, you're the best.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that's if you're Tennessee, you have to hinder that to some degree because you can't let them go 5 for 5 to start the game on third down and march down the field. That will take so much air out of the defense. It's not even funny. So that's my key to matchup.
X factor for me is Tennessee's run game. All right. And if you can run the football, you'll get one-on-ones for Brazzle, and you'll inevitably be explosive in the pass. But if you can consistently run the football and and keep your defense off the field, you'll be all right. But if you're not sustaining drives through running the football and getting into those 2nd and 2s, getting into those short yardage situations where you can be aggressive, you're not going to win this football game because you're not going to score enough points.
My X factor is Tim Banks, the Tennessee defensive coordinator. Well, the kind of game plan that you throw at this Alabama offense is going to be crucial into whether or not you win or lose.
They say they just can't play zone. I'm going to go figure it out today.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch it tomorrow. But, yeah, he's my X factor here.
Stop smoking the Newports. It was actually the Lucy Breakers going down with my gullet that was not sitting right on my throat right there.
Oof.
Yeah.
My X factor for this game is Jermod McCoy, and it's solely on the basis of whether or not he plays. I know there were some rumblings ahead of the Arkansas game, like, hey, he might return here, ended up not playing in that game. If he plays for Tennessee, one, how healthy is he? How much of Jermod McCoy is he? Because this was his coming out party last year. And how much can he affect the game? Because if you have a first-round corner on that defense, that might help things a lot.
Ty Simpson and Joey Aguilar's invite to New York City in the Heisman ceremony stamped and delivered this weekend in an 80-plus total point performance in Tuscaloosa. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Somewhat say no. Both quarterbacks combined for over 700 yards of passing in this game. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Wow. Here's mine. Joey Aguilar will outgain Ty Simpson through the air, but it will be in a losing effort because he will have 2 or more turnovers. Heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I think Alabama wins because I think they have the more trustworthy defense in this matchup. Give me Alabama, let's call it 38-34.
Oh, wow.
Lots of points.
I've got Alabama somewhat rolling in this game. I think Alabama kind of wins it handily. I got Alabama 44, Tennessee 31.
I have Alabama winning this game very similarly to how they beat Missouri, where they've got the game in control for the majority of the second half, and then you get a late push at the end. Give me Alabama 38, Tennessee 30.
All right, let's hit these super chubs before we toss to the local hour. Brian Bennett says, best show out there. Bless you. I listen to Kirby Smart's press conference every week. You guys are the only ones who ask legitimate ball questions. Here's my question. Based on percentage, how many ball knowers would you say sit in that press room with you? Don't feel comfortable answering that question. I will answer this, though. Ain't a single one of them want to see me in a board drill. I'm going to tell you that right now. Maybe apart from Jeremy Johnson, that's because he's about 6'5", and I'm going to say 285 just to be generous. He big man.
Yeah,
all right, he big man. Play a lot of high school football at Athens, Clark County. Decent little matchup. I think I'd wipe the board with him, though. So I don't know about the ball knowledge, but I'm going to tell you right now, not a single one want to see me in a board drill. Not a nail one, not a one. Just like we don't have a single producer that watches Sunday shows. On to the next Super Chub. Flying Hawaiian, been a big-time Super Chub guy lately here on this network. As an Oregonian, did I say that right? As an Oregonian fan that had attended the Rose Bowl last year, I kind of like getting this L now so we have time to grind the tape and correct rather than what happened last year. Dante is going to have a mean rest of the year. I think what he's saying is maybe you got out of that Ohio State game alive last year and might have rested on your laurels the rest of the year. Now, pissed off and angry. Dan
Lanning on a mission now?
Dan Lanning, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
Come on, dude.
Toss him to the local hour, Jonathan. Oh, sneaky ditties tonight. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? Really like that. You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. Let's shut up and let's grind. Let's shut up and let's grind. Raylan doesn't rub the tight end. No wasted movement at all. Hips open up. We drive back down hard, but we got arms up underneath the pits, not inside the pecs, okay? I had a rhyming word right there. I wish I could have. Where's the peak? Where's your peak, son? Where are you peaking? I want to stomp on that peck and throw a shoulder into him, Jonathan. They be popping the tight end, don't they, Jonathan? I think we got to hit this harder, tighter, faster. Do not let him sit back there. We got to get him down. We got to get him down. We got to protect our back end. So maybe both of them are coming. They are. Oh, my Lord. Buddy, you're going to get finished on. There's just no doubt about it. They're eventually going to stuff you out. We got a naked one. Are they coming? Yep, both of them are. Hey, let me see your peak, son. Where's your peak?
The peak is wild.
The peak is wild. But hey, we got to strike, peak, and shed.
Oh, yeah.
It's the rules. Them's the rules. By the way, PSD, little pecker stopper drill, broke my clavicle freshman year doing that.
Dangerous game, huh?
Hey, it's important when we're denting the counter, we got to step on the pecker. Ain't no doubt. Dangerous game. Dangerous game. It's a dangerously loaded local hour.
Ooh.
Dangerously loaded local hour. We got a great one for you. Kirby was at Player Pressers today. We were a little busy grinding some tape here in the studio. Sneaky 10:30 Player Presser availability.
Yeah, it snuck up on me.
Who'd they give you today?
They gave us Raylan and Cash.
I bet they had some good stuff. Cash Jones Concrete, did we talk about it?
We did.
We talked about Cash Jones. Hey, tremendous paint job on those concrete trucks.
Oh, that was discussed.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Hey, we got those. We got some news to talk about to start tonight's local hour. Georgia versus Ole Miss preview and prediction coming hot tonight. And, of course, it is midseason. We did midseason awards in the national hour. We're going to do midseason awards in the local hour here tonight as well. Make sure you're in that thumbs up button, like, subscribing, rate and review, and all that good stuff. I always say like, subscribe, rate, review. Where's the rate review come from? Podcast platform. We are readily available. However, wherever you get your podcasts, just search Film Guy Network. You will find us right then and there. Let's start with the news, boys. Local hour news today. Shadarius Tootle, or as we say, Shadarius Tootle, flips from Georgia to Auburn. Ironically, right after an official visit to Auburn this weekend in which Georgia ripped their souls out, particularly defensively. Saw a lot of people on social media saying this makes zero sense. This is why college football is ruined. This must have been a bag. I think there's a lot more at play here with Shadarius Tootle. First and foremost, I think they were worried about this one the entire time. He's a Mobile, Alabama kid, all right? He was already committed to Auburn prior to you flipping him to Georgia. So there were some previous ties and relationships over there at Auburn. This was something that was on the horizon potentially moving forward, all right? But not only that, they offered his brother this weekend as well. And I looked it up today, guys. You tell me which one of these schools doesn't necessarily make sense in this list of offers. And I don't mean to demean the football player, but this is what I mean. Well, there's something more going on here. There's a different opportunity than just they threw him money. No, they threw his brother a roster spot too. North Alabama, Hampton University, and a school called Coffeyville. Do you know Coffeyville had a football team? I thought Coffeetown was West Blankenship's thing. I didn't know Coffeyville had a football team, but they got an offer. And now Auburn. Auburn offered this weekend. 6'4", 200 pounds, good athlete, went to Jacksonville State out of high school. I'm sure, just not Auburn quality, just not Georgia quality, but he's going to play at Auburn now. And that's where Shadarius Tootle might end up playing as well. And obviously, yeah, you make assumptions about they threw him an NIL bag. You can say whatever you want about that, but I think there's more at play than just they gave him an NIL check. No, they gave his brother a roster spot. By the way, this is not foreign to Georgia. I'm not going to say you did this with Zachariah Branch. But, Zion got added to this list as well, and you needed a safety. Maybe they need a 6'4", 200-pound body on special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what those details tell me, like based on the results of the game, but then also what they also, like some of the things they added to the list of reasons why he should commit to Auburn, that tells me that Auburn felt like this guy was a priority and that they needed to do everything that they could to make sure that he ended up in this year's recruiting class. So not to say that Georgia wasn't treating him like a priority or they didn't want him. Obviously they did. But Auburn was doing everything that they could to make sure that Tootle ultimately flipped back to them.
Yeah, and this also tells me that this kid wanted to go to Auburn in the first place. He was originally committed there. There were some talks about how he might, flip to Georgia. He eventually did flip to Georgia, but there was always Auburn in the shadows lurking and talking about how, hey, this is a commit that Auburn has to have. Like you said, Mobile kid, really grew up an Auburn fan from what I understand. So it makes sense.
I think this was said on social media. I can't remember, but I believe someone said that his dad was decked out in an Auburn suit this weekend.
That's his dad's thing. I got a picture of his dad in a Georgia suit.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no, his dad. There's also a picture on social media of his dad in a Jack State suit. His dad must have a suit guy.
That's sick.
I must have a suit guy. Custom suits too, not cheap. I would imagine. I mean, even if they're like lower end quality. Can't be easy to stitch or make a Georgia
that's dope.
suit. Yeah, I was looking. That's what I was doing over here. I was looking for the photo. I took one of it. They took a visit to Georgia recently as well, and he's decked out in the Georgia suit. So yeah, you'll find a big old Georgia chain, the plastic one they sell pregame out there. The vendors got going on.
Dad's a vibe, huh?
Yeah, dad's just a big time, team guy.
Yeah, wants to support his son.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good on him.
And Shadrick Jr., named after Dad, now has a roster spot. Big dubs for the family all around. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I think it's a win-win unless Hugh Freeze gets fired, and then I don't think Georgia's taking him back. Would you? You think Georgia says, hey, come on back?
You took him once. Why wouldn't you take him again?
Because maybe he called you and said the price done went up, and you don't do that?
Well, if you don't want to go to Auburn because the coach is fired, then negotiations may give you.
I think it's a win-win. Even if the coach gets fired, you get the down payment. I'm assuming there was a down payment. Is that a fair assumption?
Seems to be the safe assumption these days.
It seems to be the standard these days, down payments. So there's that. But again, it's a Mobile, Alabama kid. History would tell you that Mobile, Alabama kids either go to LSU, Alabama, or Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a kid from Mobile?
George Pickens.
He's not from Mobile.
I thought, he's Hoover.
He's
right?
from Hoover.
That's right.
That's in Birmingham.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, we might search through the wickets for that one for a while. I can't remember of a football player at Georgia from Mobile. So there's that. Christian, I know you're doing some Googling over there, but you got presser notes for me? What?
Grayson Lambert, born in Mobile, Alabama.
Interesting. I thought he played high school football in South Georgia or in Virginia.
He played at Virginia in college and then transferred to Georgia.
Oh, I'm wrong. All right. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so it was an interesting day in the presser world. We got Raylan Wilson first. Both players gave us about 8 minutes each. There wasn't a ton to ask him, but the first note I took was
He's from Jessup. He went to Wayne County High School.
Grayson Lambert?
Yeah.
Check your machine over there.
The internet lies
he was born in Mobile, Alabama.
That's what I said.
But played high school football in Jessup at Wayne County High School. So then went to Virginia and then came back to Georgia. Sorry. Go.
Born in Mobile, Alabama.
Yep.
That was all the requirement. First note I took was Kirby Smart has very, very evidently gotten in these players' ears and said, if you get asked anything about that damn fumble, about the Auburn game in general, you do not answer it. We are talking about Ole Miss. We have moved on from that game. First question was, hey, Raylan, who would you say deserves a credit for that punch-out fumble in the second or in the goal line? Raylan Wilson, immediate answer. Well, we've kind of moved on to another game, so we're talking about Ole Miss right now. Did kind of give a little answer for the media members. Said it's a 1-2 punch. Both guys get credit. They said they practice punch-outs every day. It's something that they've put a major emphasis on and causing turnovers.
How do you practice that without breaking knuckles and hurting your teammates?
That's actually very funny you asked that because that was the next question that was asked to Raylan. Hey,
by who?
I believe this was a Connor Riley question.
Ball knower.
Connor Riley goes, hey, is there anything you guys do to protect your hands so that you don't injure them or cut them on pads or something like that? He says, typically, if you just tape them up, you're fine. Was then asked about Trinidad Chambliss and what kind of a threat he poses. Quote, he's a really big threat with his legs. I would say he's a good player. Straightforward from Raylan. Very good answer from there. Then this was the more funny one. You get to see the contrast of an offensive and defensive player. Raylan was asked what Coach Kirby Smart is like on the side and said he's typically really composed and tries to keep everyone level-headed. Now, I've watched basically every single game that Kirby Smart's coached. I don't know if I would say composed is the word to describe. He's composed in certain moments, but there is also a lot of times when composure is not something he's displaying. Said that composure in high moments and for the defense alone comes from getting yelled at practice, and talked about, Raylan made a joke that being yelled at by Coach Smart gives you more pressure than actually playing in the game sometimes. Was then asked about Cash Jones and what he's like a player and what's it like going against him every day, considering we were getting him next in the media pressers. Said Cash Jones has routed him up a handful of times. Was then asked, hey, this is a game you lost last year, Ole Miss. Obviously, they rushed the field. Very, somewhat embarrassing moment for you guys. Is there a revenge game factor? He said, Kirby Smart answered this earlier in the week of we're just focused on doing the right thing. We don't get caught up in the revenge game for it. Raylan did say, though, I feel like the players that returned and played in this game last season have a bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Where Jake Pope at?
Ooh, yeah, that's
where Jake Pope at?
Las Vegas.
Jake Pope is in Las Vegas right now.
Jake Pope jumping up and down with Ole Miss. No, I'm just kidding. It was a very, over reacted to thing, I think, maybe last year. What do you think?
I mean,
Rehash your Jake Pope take right now.
Well, I mean, there were people crucifying Carson Beck because he was smiling on the sidelines during
that's
the
right.
loss.
That was the
That's
same game.
I mean, even Kirby Smart gave a strong reaction to the Jake Pope.
He called him an idiot.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the classic example of when you lose, you immediately get mad at everything and you look for something to be like, this is it. Like the classic get off my yard. Like if Georgia wins that game or something like that, no one's mad about that.
Yeah, people go on the radio and say he doesn't deserve a roster spot. That's what he should do.
Yeah. All right, that was all we got from Raylan. Next up was Cash Jones, who, by the way, completely irrelevant from the press conference. And this is I might get flamed for this. Cash Jones to me sounds like Ryan Gosling. If you've ever heard him talk, listen to his.
You've watched enough Gosling to have a comp for like Gosling and his pace and his cadence.
Gosling's got a couple of good movies. Have you seen The Gray Man?
No.
Very good movie. Highly recommend. Action movie, not a rom-com or anything like that. But no, I have seen a handful of Ryan Gosling movies.
I'm gonna check an IMDb.
Oh, you're one of those guys?
No, I want to know what Gosling movies I like and what I've seen.
I mean, you've seen.
Don't get bogged down in the Gosling take.
All right, moving on.
I mean,
I
see the slight resemblance to Gosling to an extent.
Listen to the two guys talk.
I'll do that right now.
Moving on. He was then asked about Raylan. Hey, Raylan, he just said you route him up a handful of times. Cash Jones gave him a compliment back and said Raylan makes it very hard for him to route up. Said that going against him every day makes him better, and along with all the other running backs. Was then asked hey, can you confirm on that blindside block penalty what you saw and what your rationale was? First answer, yeah, but we've kind of moved on to Ole Miss. But he did say he thought Gunner was tucking the football and going to run, was looking downfield to get a block. That's obviously what got the penalty. We discussed that earlier, but
he's taking Allen out. Yotes!
Yeah.
That's Gosling.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I mean, I remember.
One of the longest jokes about that movie is Ryan Gosling was an absolute liability on defense.
A liability. But to be honestly, I'm looking at this.
You haven't seen The Notebook?
I mean, do I strike you as someone
I've
who's
never seen The Notebook.
Notebook?
I'll admit it. Never seen The Notebook.
I feel like if you have significant others or mothers, you've just watched The Notebook.
Nope, not me.
Nope, not me.
Oh, interesting. That was a staple in my childhood.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. This IMDb, kind of mid. Liked him in The Big Short. Thought he had a cool pivotal role in The Big Short.
He's got some good movies. Go watch The Gray Man.
Yeah, I'm sure Barbie's great.
I didn't watch that one.
Surprised for an Auburn fan. Figured you'd be all over it.
All right. Anyways. Where was I on my notes for Georgia players? He was then continuing to talk about the blindside block. He said there's no sense in complaining about it. The referee has a job to do. He did his job. I have to do my job based on what he says. Was then asked about how Chauncey Bowens has improved throughout the season. He said he's probably the most improved player we've seen from last season to this season, in my opinion at least. And it shows on the field. I mean, you've got a lot of people saying he's your best running back right now. That growth has been exponential. Was then asked about, hey, what do you see from Gunner? Where do you think his biggest improvement has been? His answer was that it is his leadership. Said that he shows fire when he needs to, which prompted a new question of when does Gunner Stockton need to show this fire, passion, and energy? And Cash Jones made actually an interesting revelation. You don't need to show it off the field as much. You don't have to be the big rah-rah guy. Obviously, in the big pivotal moments, Gunner Stockton is a fire, passion, energy guy. But if you've ever seen him in front of a mic or ever seen him off the field or ever interviewed him, he's a very quiet, very reserved, I'm just going to tell it like it is, kind of smile type guy. Does not seem to, have that fire that you see him play on the field with. So that was interesting to see how Cash Jones says you don't have to have that off the field necessarily. This was where it got funny because remember how I said that Raylan was asked what Kirby's like on defense and what Kirby's like on the sideline? Raylan was like, he does a good job keeping us level-headed, composed. Cash immediately goes, he can be a bit intense sometimes, and the entire beat started laughing at that. But he did say he always makes sure that we are in the best place possible and in the best situation possible. Was asked about, what do you tell Nate Frazier, a guy who had that fumble trouble in the Alabama game? Said, obviously he doesn't want to fumble. It's all about making the next play mentality. So just loving guys up like that.
I don't mean to sidetrack you like I continuously do, but you were talking about what's Kirby like during a game. Having the chance to photo him photo the team on the sideline the last 2.5 years, all road games 3 years ago, every game the last 2 years. I mean, Schumann calls the plays, but there ain't a damn thing that Kirby Smart ain't coaching out there. That dude's at the top of the numbers screaming his head off for 4 quarters. The hardest job in football right now is Scott Sinclair holding him back. I mean, there's so many times where he's at the top of the numbers doing this one, jumping up and down, getting everybody's attention on the defense. And now when you walk by, because I always walk behind the bench when possession changes to get angles on photos, when you walk behind the bench, it's very clear that Schumann's over there making all the adjustments. And on the whiteboard, which the whiteboard nowadays is the iPad, Kirby might come over there and give a little tidbit. He's right back over to managing the football game. But defensively, man, there ain't a call that dude ain't involved in, man.
Well, of course not. That is quintessential Kirby Smart. This was an interesting question that I thought. I mean, he got asked about the 4th-and-1 call against Alabama. Yeah, 2 weeks removed from that.
Well, first time you gotten him, maybe.
Yeah, definitely understand it, but it's also like, man, that's digging up old wounds there. And Cash Jones admittedly said, yeah, I saw a lot of the criticisms. I saw a lot of the things that were said about me after that game. Said, but at the end of the day, I just got to keep my feet. And, to his credit, you stay up on that, you're probably walking in for a touchdown. So that was interesting. Then we got the most pressing question asked by Ben Woke. I know it's the one that everyone's been on the edge of their seat waiting to hear. There was a report earlier on social media this week that Cash Jones had used some of his NIL money to paint all of his family's cement trucks into Georgia colors with gray and black and red stripes like you see on the pants. Cash Jones quickly shot this down and said, no, that's not accurate. That's the color we went with originally. But he did say, I do see how there are some similarities with Georgia. So if you see a report that says Cash Jones has used his NIL money to paint his cement trucks the Georgia colors, that is false. That is not what he did. Probably my favorite moment of the interview was then asked, he said, hey, this was a question about being from Texas and what it means to bond with the other players there, but was asked, hey, are you going to do the horns down ever again? And before the question was even finished being asked, immediately, no, never again. So I just have to wonder what kind of ass chewing he got from Kirby Smart and the rest of that coaching staff for him to be that scared. He even said at one point, he's like, I'm keeping my hands on this podium to stop me from getting in trouble. So that was a rather humorous moment of it. And then the final question was, what do you see from this Ole Miss defense? They're, quote, fast, physical, and well-coached. It's going to be a tough team to beat. We just have to focus on fundamentals. So that was all that we had from pressers today.
Anybody want to take a general guess on how much a brand new 2025 Mack cement truck costs?
Brand new 2025 Mack cement truck, I'm going to go with is probably upwards of $100,000. I'm going to go 133.
Decent.
I was going to go in right at 200.
How about a smooth $250,000?
Okay. That was close.
About a smooth $250,000.
I believe it.
And he's getting paint jobs for him.
PJs. Midseason awards? Hey, great job, by the way. Appreciate you doing that.
Thank you for working, Kirby.
Yeah, thank you for working. Good job. Way to show up. Way to
show
up and show out. Chat give you any hell the last 2 days for not being here Thursday, or did they just forget?
I'm sure they'll do it now, but
I mean, we can't let you slide. Can't have that.
There's some people.
Can't have that.
There's some people that are still holding on to the Auburn fan trope, so probably have to outlive that one before.
Yeah, you're gonna ride that one for a little bit.
Yeah.
It only happens when you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I've picked Bama for 2 straight years and happened to be right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get Bama Brooks the moment I do it and I'm wrong. But at that point, curse broken.
Yeah, no, for real.
Big dubs in the chat for that one. All right, midseason awards. Let's start with offensive MVP, boys. Who are you giving it to? I've got 3 nominees. I'll let y'all go first, and I'll give some love to someone who didn't get it.
I'm going to give it to this player because I think that he has brought something to this offense that they have lacked, specifically last year, that they didn't have last year. That'd be Zachariah Branch. The yards after catch that he has brought to this offense, the explosivity that he's created, it's something that Georgia didn't really have last year. They didn't have a guy that they could throw the ball out to and then he could make 3 guys miss and get you a first down when it looks like he probably should only get 3 yards. I think they lacked that twitch in the wide receiver room last year. He's certainly brought that, so that's why he's the offensive MVP for me.
I went with a very similar reason for you, but kind of different. Colby Young is my MVP for 2 reasons. One, he has been kind of the force feed, do-it-all type guy. He's also big in yaks. We've seen him get some screens. He's a bigger downfield threat than Zachariah Branch at this point. I would say he's more of a 50-50 guy. And by the way, we saw how quickly that wide receiver room struggled last year once Colby Young was no longer with that team. I think that what he adds in that true X, now Grant, you have Noah Thomas this year as well, but having that true X that is a threat has been so valuable to this Georgia offense. I don't know how successful it would be without him.
Boys, you know what I'm unsuccessful at doing? breaking my oral fixation. I've had a bad habit. Oral fixation.
Yeah.
The constant need to have something in your mouth to chew on.
Oh.
Okay.
You know?
Chew on. Good.
Okay.
And when my oral fixation needs a fix, I head over to my friends over at Lucy Breakers, all right? And I use promo code FGN, and I get 20% off with my first purchase over at Lucy Breakers. I'm going to toss one of these suckers in. Oh! Tracked it well, didn't catch it. Lucy Breakers, promo code FGN, get 20% off today on your first purchase. Today's flavor of choice, I'm sticking with my mint. Hey, what I also love about Lucy's, and we talk about this often on this network, I'm surprised there's not one in here. Hey, they got a nice little place for you. If you're in a spot like a college football game, for example, and you're taking photos of the game, and you can't get rid of that pillow and throw it out in the middle of the grass, you won't be putting that on Sanford Stadium grass. You won't be doing that. Hey, don't worry about it. Got a lid right here for easy disposal. Next time you get by a trash can, pop it right out. Shout out to our friends over at Lucy's. Promo code FGN. If you don't know what the medical term of an oral fixation is, you're just immature. Don't get bogged down. Don't get bogged down in the ditty.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a show that referenced medical terms so frequently.
I mean, you never know. You never know around here.
Who's your offensive MVP?
Oh, it's Monroe Freeland.
Yeah.
But I had 57, 1 and 8. So y'all hit on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if you can do it defensively. We'll see if y'all are good on the defensive side of football. But for me, it's Monroe Freeland. You play that like willing through injury and that great. I mean, he's played great football all year long, I feel like. So, yeah, it's 57 for me. Big time prospect right there as well. He going to be a first round.
And by the way, to play into that, I don't know if you guys saw the pregame interview that they did with Kirby Smart about Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green. Kirby goes, Ernest isn't going to be available. He's dealing with an injury. Monroe is not going to start, but if we need him, he'll go. Monroe is back on the field by the second drive. It's very obvious how highly regarded he is on that offensive line. So,
vamp for a second. You mentioned Ernest Green. I want to show you guys a photo of Ernest leaving the field. You saw this when we edited photos Saturday night. I think this says a lot about your football team because this is a guy who hasn't played a lot of football over the last couple of weeks, right? He's been banged up. He's not exactly where he wants to be, all right? He's injured. His back hurts, all that stuff going on, right? This was him leaving the field Saturday night after a game in which he did not play for what, the third week in a row? Third week in a row, this kid's been sidelined with an injury. And let me get to it. I think it's the last photo I took of them leaving the field. The smile on this dude's face says everything about what I think this team is this year, which is all about we. They don't care about the me. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it matters nowadays in college football more so than ever before. How much do you care about your teammates? How much do you love one another? How much are you willing to put others before yourself? And this is a prime example of it. Look at this photo of, again, a football player that is not where he wants to be. Right? He has not played. He is not where he needs to be. He's basically in one of his last years of eligibility. Zoom in on that photo and see if you can see his face, Kirby. Look how happy that guy is for his football team.
Hell yeah.
That says everything, in my opinion, about where Georgia is right now and what you should care about most with regards to this football team. That look right there on a kid that's missed 3 games because of back spasms and back pain. All right, that's a difference. That's the connectivity of this football team on top of the guys willing to play through injury as well. Defensive MVP, who do you got, boys?
Now, I went with this player because I assume that there are going to be other names taken. So don't just think that I'm overlooking a lot of great players. I think there's multiple names that you could certainly take on this defense. But I went with Dalen Everett as a defensive MVP because I think without him this year, now he was draft eligible last year, correct?
Correct.
Could have gone to the league last year, came back, and had he not came back to this secondary, you would have been in a really bad spot. I don't want to say bad spot, but you would have been in a very hairy situation considering
you would have
how
been
young
in a
you
very
are.
huntable spot. Let's call it that.
Yeah. I mean, you are very
spot.
young and inexperienced with the other names on that roster right now. So him coming back and him playing great, consistent football for this team has been massive for the secondary.
Yeah, I went with CJ Allen. It feels fairly obvious here. Like the kid's balled out this year. We all talked about the year 3, seeing it and finally getting it. I know that there's, people on social media like, man, I just haven't seen it from CJ Allen. I've been very disappointed. You're not watching football correctly. You're looking for the Roquan Smith highlights and the big hits. That's not what CJ Allen's doing at linebacker. He's playing the position probably one of the best in the SEC right now. So he's my MVP.
Now, I don't do PFF snap counting, but for me, the defensive MVP, if it's not going to be either of those two, is number 33, Quintavious Johnson.
Ooh.
I don't think the guy leaves the field.
I don't ever see him off the field.
I mean, he's got to play more snaps than anybody else inside the box, not named CJ. And every guy, I mean, the 4th and 1 doesn't happen if Quintavious Johnson doesn't happen on 3rd and 1, right? So, like, so many big plays that I think go by the wayside from 33. I don't think anybody in the box is playing harder than that kid either. That dude plays really, really hard for the University of Georgia this year. He is a definition of FPA. I don't do the PFF snap counting. Somebody might, though, in the chat, and we'll see if I'm correct on that. But I don't see a snap that we break down where it feels like 33 ain't on the field. So he's playing great ball. Rookie of the year, boys. A lot of nominees here offensively. We did offense and defensive MVP. Let's say the defensive freshman of the year on 3. 1, 2, 3. Elijah Griffin.
Yeah.
I was trying to think.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why it's
that's why it is
He's
Elijah
the only
Griffin.
freshman getting PT right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So I thought you guys had that one. That's on me.
In the limited snaps, Dominic Kelly a close second.
Oh, you just love you some Dominic Kelly.
I do.
Like the rest of
Shamelessly.
Buying in.
Dom Kelly just looks like a ball player, man. God, he's going to be so good. I can't wait to watch him play.
But no, for my rookie of the year, I went with Juan Gaston.
That's fair.
I think that the fact that he's been able to come into your offensive line and not only play winning football, but play really, really good as a freshman, given everything you've been through with the injury, like, it's big.
He seems to be the unanimous selection. Chat's even all over, and I know he got some PFF love this week, but I feel like Dontrell Glover's played more consistently good.
That's
and more
fair.
consistently on the field than Juan.
And think of it this way, too, of if Donnie Glover was not ready to play for you as a true freshman right now, and Juan Gaston was having to stay at guard, I don't know what the offensive line looks like right now. I mean,
Michael Unai?
Yeah, Michael Unai's playing right tackle, or
Which, by the
Bo
way,
Hewley's playing right
pronounced
tackle.
Uni.
Michael Uni playing right tackle, or Bo Hewley playing right tackle.
Player correct you?
No, I think I've seen people saying it. Like, I've seen interviews and people talking about it.
So, again, the fact that Donnie Glover is ready to play for you as a true freshman at right guard and allowing you to have the ability to put Juan Gaston at right tackle.
He said Donald?
He said
I
Donald.
football brained him?
I said Donnie.
He did say Donnie. I heard Donnie.
Okay. I heard Donald.
All right, so those three
Clean your
freshmen,
ears.
Dontrell, Juan, and Elijah.
Yeah.
And nobody else is really playing. I guess Elias is starting to play a lot more.
Yeah.
Are we
Ethan Barbour would have been on this list.
Are we
for
putting
sure.
Chauncey Bowens up for this nomination? I know he's not a freshman, but
Redshirt freshman got burned last year. No.
okay.
No different than like Ellis Robinson is not available for this list.
Okay.
No different than Quintavious Johnson's not available for this.
Talon
That's a
Taylor.
redshirt freshman.
Talon Taylor might have made a run for this.
Yeah.
Who knows what that could have looked
I
like.
hate that for him.
Ice Bass and ibuprofen. Who out here is making you go, damn, that look like it hurt?
Wow. There are a lot of players playing tough and hurt right now for Georgia, but 14 is Ice Bass and ibuprofen.
14 line need to be
That
carted off
dude-
every Saturday.
Now, that's what I was about to say. There were 4 times against Auburn where it looked like Gunner died. And he literally just pops up. There's not a moment where he's like kind of rolling on the ground or even making you think for a second, like,
the craziest thing is it's not like he's putting himself in these positions either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like he's scrambling. He tries to get upfield when he should get down and wham, safety smacks him. No. He's getting blown up by 285-pound humans.
And he just gets up every time.
Every
He's
time.
Like, all right, let's go. Come on.
Hey, gotta play the next step.
Got to get the play call in.
Gotta go.
Does the old head shake where he like shakes his helmet? And
Oh, we're good. We're fine.
Oh, just the bell's rung.
yeah, no, literally.
Just the bell's rung.
On the targeting penalty, that's literally what he was like spending like 15 seconds in the huddle, like shaking his helmet and like adjusting. It's just like
I heard that's great for him, for brain trauma.
My
I heard
brain
it's
just
great.
got rattled.
You
Let me
know,
shake it some
I'm
more.
pretty sure again with the medical definitions. I'm pretty sure the medical definition of a concussion is the brain rattling on the skull. Just keep shaking it out, baby. Just keep shaking it out. It'll stabilize.
God, he's tough though.
He
And
is tough as hell, man.
I think it's a reason why a lot of other players are continuing to play tough too, because
Facts.
our quarterback is dying for
Y'all
us.
seeing what
We're gonna
14's
die
doing
for
out here
it.
today? He putting it on the line. He gonna
that,
die today.
That first sack he took, I was like, oh, he just broke a rib. Great.
When 0 hit him.
Oh my
God. That number 0 is 248 pounds as well, man. That dude's huge.
And he held on to the football too.
Dude, he shucked off a Keldrick Falk free hit like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody said Chuck Norris wears a 14 jersey.
Gunnar Stockton's definitely the recipient of that award. I think you have to put Monroe Fruling up for that as well.
Yeah, that's who I gave it to, or Monroe Fruling. But I think the dude who's doing it both, the dude who is playing hurt and creating physical pain on his opponents, is none other than Micah Morris. Micah Morris looks like a 10-man out there right about now. He's got so much going on. Ankles taped up like crazy. Have you seen the robot arm he's got on that left side? Have you seen how heavy his hands are taped? Because I'm sure his fingers are torn up to hell right now. Dude's playing tough and murdering people. Like the amount of bodies that hit the floor because of 56 right now, he's getting it on both ends. He's playing hurt and hurting people. I like him right now for Ice Bass and ibuprofen. Coach of the year. I got second half shoe.
Ooh. Second half shoe.
Second half
Has
shoe.
been
Elite. Coach of the year. Ain't nobody better in the history of football than second half shoe right now.
Right.
My God.
I need second half shoe to be 50-minute shoe.
4-quarter shoe.
45-minute shoe?
Give me
Just say so. Let's not get greedy, boys. 45-minute shoe.
All right,
you can go cold in the second quarter.
First quarter? All right.
No, just first quarter, start hot, go cold in the second, come back, be second quarter or second half shoe.
That's fine. I went with James Coley because for every criticism that people have with the hire, that receiver room has gotten so much better. That receiver room is making the plays that you need to. Now, they don't have a 1,000-yard receiver on the roster this year. I don't think anyone's on pace to do so. They don't have the absolute game breaker. They don't have the, oh my God, we have to double cover this guy, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman type. But they have the guys that make the winning plays when you need them to. And that's not something that you've had in a long time. They have a true X that's dangerous. They have a guy that if you give him the ball quickly, he will make defenders miss. They have a bunch of solid options on the exterior. The wide receiver room is the best it's been under Kirby Smart, and I'm not afraid to say that.
It's also probably been the most heavily invested in it's been since Kirby Smart's got
Very true.
I gave my coach award to Stacey Searles. The recruiting job that he did in this past recruiting cycle has been massive for Georgia. I think you've seen them play better this year. They're executing at a higher level. You lose 5 starters from your offensive line. All of them went to the league. And you find a way to improve. You find a way to get better. And you find a way to get consistent.
I think I'm safe to admit this now. We're like well past the line of demarcation on this. But I happened to be there the day that I think Stacey fell in love with Dontrell and like made him a priority take. And it was during my spring tour. And the day I was there and Stacey was there, ironically enough, Dontrell starts practice at left tackle, moves into left guard, flips over to right guard. Stacey whispers in the ear of the offensive line coach, hey, can you get him in at center right quick? I'm just trying to see something. Gets in there, snaps perfectly, plays center. And I asked the offensive line coach after practice, I was like, has he ever snapped? He's like, yeah, in pre-practice, but he's never taken live reps snapping the football. He's just a ball player, dude. And we saw him in OTAs that summer after as a Georgia commit. And they're at practice like having to, hey, whoa.
Easy now.
Calm down, dude. Like, whoa, be careful. Like it's a practice in June. Like we're okay. No, I'm here to kill.
Yep.
I'm here to murder, seek, and destroy. Shut up. I'm out here to ball. I'm out here to talk some trash too. Love Dontrell the entire process, and he's playing ball right now for these guys. Hey, Kearis Jackson Award. Will you explain this? Because I want to put this up for debate in terms of renaming.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is just a player that I think of when I think of this category for an award of. A player that just maybe isn't getting loved up enough on. Like a player that has been making plays, but when you talk about playmakers or difference makers for this team, he's not the first on the list, probably not even the third or the fourth, but playing good football for you.
So this is like Ohio State. So this would be 2022 Kearis when he catches that ball down mid-seam.
Yeah.
It's like massive play, just there when you need him. You're not as good without him if he's not there.
Yeah.
But he's not your best player.
Yep.
Okay.
I took it as like the glue guy award.
Yeah, like sixth man.
Yeah.
Basically like sixth-man award.
For sure.
I like this. All right, we can keep it as the Kearis Jackson Award for right now. He's way too good to fit this mold, but ain't nobody talking about him enough. It's Kristen Miller. He's playing great football. top 60 selection football for me. But if it's not, he's too good. So I'm going to go with what Chat's already hitting on, Dylan Bell.
Yeah.
Dylan Bell has been a major key in some of these football games without being in the box score.
Mm-hmm.
I went with London Humphreys because I feel like anytime you've called on him this season, he's delivered. He delivered in Tennessee. He delivered this past weekend on, I believe it was either a third down or a fourth down to convert. He has been the absolute glue guy for you. He's been passionate on blocking, like sticking his nose in there all the time.
If he would have showed up with that same passion and energy against Alabama, I'd be right here with you.
I agree.
I felt like they took it to him against Alabama.
Yeah.
But they took it to all of them.
They took it to Dylan. Took it to Dylan Bell too.
Yeah. Took it to Zakovi White. Got flattened late in that football game too.
Yeah.
So they got them all.
I'm going to go UN defensive line for Chris Miller. I think there's another defensive lineman that deserves some love. And it happens every single time we come in here and watch film when we break down Georgia's defense of, man, this guy's playing really good ball. Jordan Hall. Yeah. Playing really well for Georgia right now. And I think you said it best at playing over his pay grade right now. I mean, that was a guy that you had to have play like sound, consistent football for you this season on the defensive line. And 44 is doing that, and he's been doing it hurt as well. Like, there's a lot to love about what Jordan Hall's doing for you this season.
There's another guy defensively that's playing great football, so much so that we don't even talk about him much on film study because he plays defensive back and nobody's attacking him, and that's Jono Aguero. I mean, he's been starting. This is second year starting. Last year's first year starting.
Yeah.
Last year I felt like it got to a point where if defenses or if offenses wanted to hunt somebody, they were hunting 8. It's not the case anymore. He's playing great football, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. Best transfer on offense, I think it's Zachariah Branch. Easy.
Got to be.
For me.
Yeah.
You gave another shout. I think you should give this guy his
I think
credit.
Josh McCray has changed Georgia's run game. I think that you are allowed to do different things in your run game right now because you have a guy like Josh McCray. And I think it's a body type that you really missed in the running back room last year of, hey, when we get down to the goal line, we need somebody that can break a tackle and get the ball over the goal line. That's all we need. And Josh McCray has been that for you.
Hell, fourth quarter death march. We need somebody that on 3rd and 2 we know is going to pick it up.
Exactly. Now it's getting to the point where you can do different things off of having him in the game. As soon as he gets the game, everybody's like, oh, watch out. Here comes a run up the middle. We got to do something. And then naked boot, roll out. Here we go. Like he has changed Georgia's offense.
There was a moment in one of those home games where second and 6, he gets the ball. They get in 3rd and 1. They hop in with him at fullback and give him a trap.
Yeah.
And I think he got a first down toe.
Tennessee.
It was Tennessee?
Yeah.
I mean, just working to get Josh McCray the football. It was Tennessee's road game.
This is his big debut.
You're right. First debut. Hey, best transfer on defense. I think there's only one answer.
Josh Horton.
He's the only one playing.
I mean,
it's Josh Horton. Elo's getting some snaps.
Adrian Max has gotten a couple of reps, but,
Zion Branch got in against Kentucky, missed an open field tackle out in the flat. Haven't seen him since.
That's basically it.
So, yeah, it's really just Josh
Unless you
Horton.
want to throw Xavier McLeod in that conversation.
That's a second-year guy.
Yeah.
We talked about it pre-show. He's playing great football right now, good football. I think the emergence of Jordan Hall has relinquished the amount of snaps that Xavier was going to have to play. Same thing for Joshua Horton.
Yeah.
They were going into the season thinking Joshua Horton was going to play 300 snaps for them this year. He's not.
No.
He's not going to play 300 snaps. He might have played 12 on Saturday night against Auburn. And the first 4 were not very good. The last 8 were really, really good. Best play. I think it's an easy one. The best play so far through the season is 4th and 6, London Humphreys.
Yes.
Followed directly by an elite man-to-man beater, to Zachariah Branch in the 2-point conversion. I think that 2-point conversion's often slept on.
Very slept on.
Yeah.
I went with it's not necessarily the best play because it wasn't as impactful and it wasn't as legendary. It's not going to live on in rivalry history. But it did create one of the best photos of Georgia football in recent history. The Raylan Wilson hit on Joey Aguilar, taken by you, is an incredible play, an incredible moment for Georgia football. So
Yeah, he throws a pick the next play.
yeah. So I would say big moment.
What a flick. What an absolute flick.
Yeah.
The touchdown was definitely probably the biggest play of the season, I would say.
The London Humphreys touchdown.
Yeah, the London Humphreys, but I mean, the goal line fumble. I mean, that's season-saving play. So was the London Humphreys touchdown. So not to say that this one is over, the London Humphreys play, but, I mean, you want to talk about absolutely change the trajectory. I mean, that play right there, I mean, that's as big as it gets. I mean, have to have it. I mean, that's it.
That photo makes an elite screensaver, by the way. Just No offense to Joey. I'm a big Joey guy. I think I was on Joey faster and first before everybody, but that's an elite photo.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not, Alex Wilder. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who's the first football player off the board? You just draft them today. Don't have to be draft eligible. Who's the first player off the board on this roster? I got an easy answer here.
Who?
It's Juan Gaston.
Yeah.
Juan Gaston would be the first football player off this board today.
Probably right.
And he's probably played 150 snaps. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Juan Monroe, maybe.
I know the NFL is going to love Chris Cole.
Monroe's going to be top 18. Juan's got a chance to be top 7.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Chris Cole's going to get a lot of love when he's draft eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to get home a lot more.
Yeah, do. But
to be this
just
type of guy.
Just the measurables,
this high. The measurables, yeah. He's going to run like a deer.
And that's why I went with kind of an off-the-wall answer a little bit. This is also, like, if you're just really focusing on the guys that will be draft eligible, I put Dalen Everett.
Yeah.
That guy's going to test well. He's putting on really good tape right now. He's going to check every single box that you want to look for in an NFL corner.
You want to spoil an April segment right here in October? Little NFL Combine guess on Dalen Everett?
Yeah, let's do it.
6'2" and a quarter. Actually, let's go 6'1" 3/4. 6'1" 3/4, 196 pounds. He's going to run 4.3 flat.
Whoa.
Yeah,
he's going to jump. He's going to jump 38 inches.
Dude, if he does that, he's a first rounder.
He's going to do that.
He's going to be a first rounder.
He'll be a first rounder.
He's running sub 4.3 in-house.
Golly.
I mean, you can see it on tape. Look at the recovery speed on that
Oh,
kid.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He does. If he gets beat, he ain't beat for long. He's back on you real quick. So yeah, I don't think that's a terrible shout right there. Hey boys, big time football game this weekend.
Big time football
The
game.
Ole Miss Rebels coming to town to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. 3:30 kick inside Sanford Stadium. The keys to the matchup here, boys, for Georgia. I got a lot of them. First and foremost, you're playing Lane Kiffin. You're playing the system. You're playing the pace. Get your cleats in the ground. Get lined up. Get prepared. Start calling things out. Get identified with what's happening right now because pace is a factor. And here's the other factor. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of defensive coordinator you are. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care if you're Matt Patricia. It does not matter. All right? You are not going to out-scheme Lane Kiffin. There is no defensive call that you're going to have installed that is not going to be compromisable by the offensive play call that he's got put into the headset of the quarterback. They are doing such a great job getting on the football early into the snap of the play clock and getting the quarterback the answers based off what the defense is showing them on the snap. And you might say, well, you got to do a great job disguising coverage, disguising defenses. How are you going to do it with all the pace that they do? How are you going to do it with all the pace that they play with? It's damn near impossible. So you're not going to out-scheme them. You got to win your one-on-ones. You got to win where they're at, right? You got to win where the concept is being called and where you are compromised because it's ultimately going to happen. Kirby Smart talked about this in his opening press conference this week. We talked about this early play communication stuff. It's why fandom is such an important aspect. It's why the home field advantage is such an important aspect in this football game. That quarterback has to be sitting there covering his ears, getting that play call. You cannot allow Lane Kiffin to sit there for 25 seconds and tell him everything that is in front of him. We can't allow that to happen at all. Okay, have to be loud, have to disrupt the helmet communication on this football team. If not, hot start, take out a cell tower. Got to. Take out a cell tower right now. Make them get back to hand signs. Got to. I'm talking about black ops. Got to figure it out. Offensively, you got to get back to finding ways to run the ball at will. At will in this football game. Lean on that run game. Find ways to do it. And continue, if they take away the run game, to eliminate that or alleviate that with extensions of the run game. Great wide receiver screen game last week. Got to still be great on the perimeter. Let's flip over to Ole Miss, okay? Find a way to establish a run game against this Georgia defense and win the ball in the air when you have the moments, okay? Because I do believe that Georgia is going to eventually stop the run, even if it means dedicating extra bodies to the box. They're not going to let you walk in here and rush for 200 yards in this football game, so you're going to have to stop it. Yeah, Brooks might be calling for an EMP. Yeah.
Keys to the game for me are Georgia has got to survive the first half wave from Ole Miss. This goes for offense and defense. It looked like maybe Georgia was riding the ship against Kentucky. They started off fast offensively and defensively, and then you go on the road at Auburn, and both sides of the ball are kind of very shaky to start that game. This is a much more dangerous team, in my opinion, if you're going to have a slow start on both sides of the ball, because Ole Miss will put up points quickly. And if you get in too much of a deficit in the first half against the Rebels, then you're going to be in trouble. I know how great Georgia's defense has been in the second half and how great the offense has been at running the ball in the second half as well. But this is a team that you really don't want to be playing too far from behind. And then on the flip side, playing into that, Ole Miss's offense cannot go non-existent in the second half like every other team has against Georgia. It happened against It happened for Alabama. Happened for Tennessee. Happened for Kentucky. Happened for Auburn. Can't happen for you to go on the road in this environment and just not be scoring any points in the second half. Got to find a way to get some consistent offense there.
Yeah, Ole Miss offense traveling effectively. We've talked about that. That's going to be something that, at this point, the data suggests that it's something they're not as good at simply because playing in road environments is big. That's a key to this matchup. Georgia's starting efficiently. I don't think you necessarily have to start fast, but if you march down the field and you have long, sustaining drives, you're not sputtering in quick 3-4 drives and quickly getting off the field, that's going to be big for this Georgia offense because it keeps your defense off the field longer. And by the way, if your defense isn't getting marched down as well, you can't allow this 9-play opening drive that goes for 7 points and has 3 third-down conversions. That's also going to be very important for Georgia. I think the most important thing for me, though, for Georgia is on offense, being able to convert your third downs, being able to sustain these longer drives. We saw it. They opened the game against Alabama, 3 and out. Opened the game against Auburn, 3 and out. You can't have that, especially in the SEC. It's why these teams have had these such dominating first halves of time of possession.
I left a couple things off in these keys to the matchup. I think for Georgia, pray for health up front in that 5. Like, can y'all get to a point where – and they're all banged up, but can they stay healthy enough to stay the same 5 the full football game? And the best 5, too. Can't be having drives stall out on us because we got a young right tackle out there that's not playing winnable football. That has to be avoided somehow, some way, and it's just by luck and happenstance. It's not anything you can do as a football program. You'll say, well, get the young offensive lineman up and ready to play faster. Well, okay, well, magic wand, let's wave that right over it. Let's just figure that out. Let's make everybody a Juan Gaston. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that easy. It's not as simple as saying it that way. So that's a major key. Also, like, we're going to prep you for this Ole Miss defense tomorrow morning. I'm going to be up till 2 o'clock tonight watching a crap load of film. We got an Alabama preview coming out tomorrow, Alabama-Tennessee preview. We got a Georgia-Ole Miss preview coming out all tomorrow on film. But Pete Golding has, I'm not going to say save his career, but Pete Golding went from a castaway at Alabama because he was playing too exotic and giving up way too many explosives to doing the same exact thing year 1 at Ole Miss to now revamping everything that it is he does as a defensive coordinator to the tune of millions on his contracts. Okay, and what is he doing? He's making everybody walk it now. He's playing a bunch of zone. He's keeping everything in front. He is not playing aggressive style defense. And that's why you don't see the havoc numbers. They don't have a lot of them. They're making teams stay out there, and they're making teams crawl it. And you might score 31 points today, but you're going to do it methodically. They're going to get you tackled and down on the ground and not let you run it into the box, which is what they did prior to that. So you're going to have to be methodical. That's what he's making teams do over the last 2 years on that defense. It's why, in my opinion, they're a decent defense right now, despite the fact that they don't have a lot of blue chippers.
And that's all you really needed with Lane Kiffin. Like, we don't need you to be a great defense. So they had that last year. We just need you to be a decent defense, man.
I'll never forget watching that Auburn game. That 6-6 Auburn team beat them a couple years ago, if my memory serves me, at Auburn. And Auburn in the second half puts up like 350 total yards of offense, just gashing them. Jarquez Hunter, like 3 80-yard runs in that football game. I mean, nuts. So they've completely changed that. They're a much more sound defense over there at Ole Miss. X Factor, boys. For me, it is Deuce Alexander. They use him like Jeremy Bernard. I gave this take in the National Hour. He is their Jeremy Bernard. They use him as a running back. They use him as a jet motion guy. They use him as a traditional X. They use him as a slot receiver. They get him in a double move format. They do a lot with a football player that just showed up. All right, and also, by the way, coming back to his home state, this is a state of Georgia football player, as is Caden Lee. They got a bunch of them over there that are coming back into this home state playing big-time football against the Dogs.
My X factor is just the Georgia linebackers, the middle of the field, and especially the tight end position. You mentioned it a couple times last week about how much Ole Miss uses tight end leak. It's a big weekend for those guys.
They be popping that tight end, Jonathan.
Also at the same time, Trinidad Chambliss, dual threat guy, can use his legs. Got to find ways for the linebackers to be making plays and keeping this Ole Miss offense from just gashing you in those types of opportunities.
Well, pop the Y. They be popping the Y, Jonathan.
That's still bad, dude.
They hit tight end pop more than anybody in the SEC.
That's better.
They be popping the tight end, Christian.
Oh, man.
They be popping the tight end.
I have 2 X factors in this game, one for each team. J-Will, like you said, for interior defensive linebackers, that's going to be very important. C.J. Allen has very much emerged as the guy who's going to fly around, the guy who makes things happen. His zone coverage abilities have surprised me. We saw that in Auburn last weekend. He's the X factor for Georgia. And on the opposite side, it's Trinidad Chambliss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Trinidad Chambliss has looked great. He's a top 10 SEC quarterback right now. He's had a really good few starts. This will be his first SEC start on the road.
You're not going to like this one. I got both of these defenses having a complete inability to stop allowing chunks in the run game. 400 yards of total rushing yards in this football game. Might be 250 for Georgia, $150 for Ole Miss. These two teams are going to create chunk plays in the run game. Trinidad Chambliss' ability to be an explosive runner will create problems on Saturday. I can already see it. Kewan Lacey's ability to make people miss will create problems on Saturday. And defensively over there at Ole Miss, Jonathan informed me prior to the show, they are bottom 100 right now with regards to rushing efficiency on the defensive side of the football. They're giving up creases. Give me a big-time rushing performance in this football game from both teams. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Similar take to yours, except mine's two-pronged. Georgia gets back to its roots in this game and rushes for over 250 yards. But here's the kicker. Josh McCray, not 1, not 2, but 3 red zone rushing touchdowns in this game. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
All right, I'm going to go. So you guys are expecting big offensive performances in this.
Mondo.
I think it's going to get off to a slow start for both teams. I have 0 points scored in the first quarter of this game. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
Pounding the under, huh?
Yeah.
First quarter under. Hey, that's when I know these gambling experts are really, really struggling. When you pop on one of these pregame shows and they got like USC over in the first 6 plays, you're like, buddy, you're hunting for one right now.
There is a guy that professionally bets on the NFL, and he said first half unders are the best thing you can bet on in the NFL.
I believe that.
Prediction time, boys.
Let's do it.
Georgia wins. Focusing on a ground game, icing this one off after a turnover in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about death march football in the fourth quarter after a critical turnover. Dogs win 31-24.
Ooh, you said 31-24?
31-24, Jonathan.
Interesting.
Same note?
I don't know. You want to find out?
I do. I'm itching to.
I think that it's good that you get a home game after the environment that you just had to go play in against Auburn. You get to come back home. You feel comfortable. The fan base is really excited because you just pulled out a win that maybe you felt like you weren't supposed to. A massive opportunity. Some might even say, hey, you get past this game, we like where we're at as far as making the college football playoffs. So I think you're going to get the right energy from this crowd. You're going to get the right mindset from this Georgia team. And you can say what you want, Kirby Smart, about how we don't look for revenge, but I think you do want some revenge in this one, especially a team that rushes the field against you. Just a very let-down loss on the road against Ole Miss last year. So I think that this team is wanting to avenge that loss. I think you get Georgia in a good spot. I think that the run game is going to be there. I think you're going to be able to comfortably move the ball, methodically move the ball. And on the flip side, I think Ole Miss is going to definitely get some points on you. I think they're too explosive. They got too many playmakers. It's going to be a close one, but I have Georgia winning 31-24.
Wow.
What do you got for me, Curb?
My prediction is going to be interesting then. I think that Georgia.
Are you doing it again? Are you an Ole Miss fan this weekend?
I'm not doing it again.
Oh,
no, don't worry, guys.
Sure.
I don't really love the thought of Lane Kiffin's offense coming into an SEC road environment and having as much success as it would, especially against a much better team like the Georgia Bulldogs in a much more hostile environment. I know that they went to Kentucky and they seemed to do fine. This is a different environment. I think that Georgia's ability to run the football here and get gash plays like we've seen, like they were able to get against Alabama, is going to be what gives them the overall edge in this game. I also think that you're going to get some mistakes from Trinidad Chambliss. This is his first SEC start. I know that he's been a very, very efficient passer. I think he's only played 3 or 4 games. Like, he's very new to this. There are still a lot of mistakes to be had by him. I like Georgia winning this game. I have Georgia winning 33-24.
I'm changing my score prediction. You know what? I'm thinking more of a 30-24 game, a margin of victory by 6. Jonathan, what is your margin of victory?
7.
So mine's 6, yours is
7.
that count?
Yeah.
Mark it down.
You know what? I'm changing mine. Georgia 100, Ole Miss nothing.
Georgia by 350. Hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh my God, tomorrow. If I get through tomorrow with a voice,
with energy
alive. And juice, alive. I mean, I think I got how many? 6. I got 6 hits tomorrow. At least. Oh,
the list keeps growing, dude. I don't know.
If I have creative juice and good takes by 9 o'clock tomorrow, boys, we going to the top. We going to the top. It ain't never going dry. Love you guys here on this network. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out.